pigeons, because if Lyon say we've stayed in Liga and we want our position, and Palace say hang on, he isn't a shareholder anymore, then UEFA are going to get their feet put to the fire to make a decision that someone's going to sue over.
Wimbledon is officially underway and there are 23 British hopes across the men's and women's tournaments. Sue Barker's told us Emma Raducanu's remarkable story at the 2021 US Open is sometimes taken for granted.
It was a fairy tale. No one had ever heard of her. She just finished her A-level. She came through and won a Grand Slam. It was just, they should make a movie about it, because it's never happened before. I don't think it'll ever happen again. But of course, everyone then presumed because she'd won a Grand Slam that she was going to be a top 10 player, and yet she wasn't even in the top 100. And you've got to give her time to develop her game.
Meanwhile, down under, the Lions have waved goodbye to their first injury casualty of the tour, and Will Greenwood says it's a big one.
Thomas Williams is a sensational rugby player and would have been in the 23 for the Test series, and now he's packing his bags.
The Lions next face the Queensland Reds, live on talkSPORT, 11 a.m. UK time on Wednesday. A few Wallabies will be involved, but most will be rested, including flanker Fraser McWright. And Gordon Darcy says, from the Wallabies' perspective, that's fair enough.
If Australia win the series, they will say, well, we did what was necessary to win the tour, because really that's all that matters. 2005 we won nearly all the midweek matches, but ultimately lost the series, and the same in 2009 down in South Africa. So ultimately, it's all about those three matches.
There's more on talksport.com.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Drive on talkSPORT. It's me, Andy Goldstein, and everyone's favourite paddle player. It's Darren, by the way. It's Darren Bent.
Darren here, by the way. Darren Bent. Andy, how you doing? You all right?
What's happened to your ear? What are you doing with your ears?
I don't know, man. It's wire.
You are. Right, Jiggo, we got a show for you this afternoon. We'll discuss another new signing on the way at Chelsea. How much can they spend? And after Lee Carsley made it back-to-back Euro glory for England's under-21s, we'll discuss how the young Lions boss should be rewarded. On top of that, Dominic Calvert-Lewin has become a free agent, so we'll get Benty to tell us which 5 freebies should be looking for a new, bigger and better club this summer, and we'll take a look at Wimbledon without the line judges for the first time. Where else could technology take over in sport? Or not just sport, maybe get rid of Jack one day. All that plus, joking, we love you. The British and Irish line, Alex Cuthbert, will be joining us. We can hear from the new Brentford boss as well, Keith Andrews. Told you it was a busy show. This is Drive, this is talkSPORT. Get involved, 03717 223344.
We'll have a bit of that.
A big, happy, sunny, hot day to everyone out there. Too hot. Too hot today. It's too hot.
Not feeling it, no?
Took Dr. Scooter for a little walk this morning. Bless him. Come into the house. I'm like, go and have some water. Water. Took the bowl to him. He looks at it. Water. Splash water in his face. All dogs out there, they suffer. And it's too hot. He's having a big old haircut tomorrow, Dr.
Is he?
Scooter. Yeah.
Big old hair. Has he got a lot of hair? He ain't got that much hair,
Yeah, he's like me. People say that you morph into your... Either you morph into your dogs or the dogs morph into their owner. But either way, he looks like me. But I tell you what he looks like. He looks like Liam Gallagher did in the 90s. Like long hair, and looks like he's been out for about 4 days non-stop.
Wow. How about you been? How was your weekend?
My weekend was good. There was too much alcohol. Way too much alcohol.
Well.
Got very drunk on
Question for you.
Yeah.
Phones on the table this morning.
Oh, is that your question?
No, that's not the question.
Oh, yes. Did it again.
You're lying.
I swear on my life.
Well, and they'll put it down there.
Oh, we did it again. Last night, before they went there, if you're joining us now, you're thinking, what are they talking about? Last week, I tried to implement a new thing in my family where when the kids come down from school, we take the phone straight out of their hand, put it on the hall table. You can only pick it up when you go to school.
Yeah.
We did it. I missed it Tuesday. I missed it Wednesday. I think I missed it Thursday. We did it Friday.
Yeah. And you said you really enjoyed it. Everyone had a really nice time.
Done it today. In fact, I took both of them to school today, so it was quite imperative that everyone got on and everyone was wide awake. And so, yeah, we did it again. It was nice.
On fire.
No iPad for anyone.
Wow.
It was good.
Right.
Try it. Try it out there.
No, anyway.
You were going to ask me...
No, there's a couple of things.
How are you? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Played paddle at 6 a.m. this morning.
7 a.m.
Madness.
Like roasting hot.
No,
roasting.
Is it inside?
Yeah, no, this one was outside.
Oh.
But there's a roof on it, but it's still
That's inside
outside.
then.
No, it's kind of outside. Does that make sense? But anyway, no, quick thing, right? So
Because you said to me, turn your mic towards you. You said to me this morning, I've got something to say to you, and I was like, what are you saying? I'll tell it on air.
Yeah, a couple of. So there's a drink that I drink. It's called Vitamin Well Hydrate water drink. So it hydrates you really well. It's lovely.
Right.
Strawberry and
So where are you going with this?
strawberry and rhubarb flavours.
Yeah.
So strawberry and rhubarb, right? Can you explain to me then?
Yeah.
I had another flavour,
Yeah.
pineapple and wild strawberry. What's the difference between strawberry and wild strawberry?
The wild strawberry doesn't come home until Sunday morning, about 4 a.m.
Do you know what I mean? So
I guess it's how it's grown, right?
but they're both grown the exact same way, right?
Yeah. If something's grown wild, it's like without any like preservatives or.
See?
I don't know, but it's a different way to grow something. It's probably the same, Benny.
I'm honestly, the drink, I'm like, oh yeah, I like the strawberry and rhubarb. And
Oh, don't go on about them.
pineapple and wild strawberry. I mean, wild.
Have you ever eaten a rhubarb?
Yeah, it's nice.
What is it?
It's like a pink thing, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it?
You never had rhubarb crumble?
Yeah, but that's cake.
Yeah, crumble it. There's rhubarb in it.
I know, but I'm saying I've never seen a rhubarb. You ever seen a rhubarb? Have you ever gone to the fridge, opened it up and gone, what's that, Mrs. B? And she's gone, it's a rhubarb, Darren.
No, I think I've gone to the shop and bought some rhubarb.
Like, you've never bought. How much is a rhubarb? I'll have a guess. How much is one rhubarb?
£4.
£4 for one rhubarb. Okay, I'm going to go for. It's got to be half then. £1.70.
I mean, speaking of expensive, I told you about the Wimbledon scenario.
Yeah.
Honestly. Yeah,
You can tell them.
No, do you know,
They're part of our family.
No, my dad's
Benny's trying to get tickets for Wimbledon for his dad.
he didn't know that yet, but he listens every day, so he's probably listening now.
Can I say what?
But you can say what I've been quoted.
£2,500.
Per seat.
I can't, mate. Someone's laughing at you. That's not real.
Well, they ain't laughing because they ain't paid it.
That's
And I
still
ain't paying it.
Someone out there listening will be able to get
Honestly.
you. Someone knows someone.
Trying to do something nice for my dad and I got that quoted.
Oh, so there's a price on happiness for your dad, is there?
No, it's not.
Oh, but you spent on a pair of trainers.
No,
But
I have not.
You have?
Not in a long time.
What, one in the glass case, how much are they worth?
Mate, yeah, worth. And what I paid for them.
Well, sell them, take your dad to Wimbledon.
It's a good shout, that.
That's so something. Just quickly, I watched the golf last night. Oh, go on.
I'm deeply concerned that you just called crumble cake.
Well, it's cake, though, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's a crumble.
Dessert, though.
It's not cake, is it?
Well, it is a cake. It's a form of cake, isn't it?
No, it's a crumble.
Yeah, but it's a form of cake, isn't it?
I wouldn't say so.
What, a crumble? An apple crumble is like an apple cake, isn't it?
No.
Okay, it was crumble then. What is a crumble? What the listing does crumble come under?
Hey, well, a lot of questions about
Yeah,
food.
cake and crumble and rhubarb.
Sounds like Richard Harvey. Wild strawberries are typically smaller, intensely sweet, and aromatic, while cultivated strawberries are larger, bread and size and sturdiness.
Yeah,
and may have.
I think he's copy and pasted that.
But you know what? Thank you, Richard.
So there you go, smaller. All right. So it tastes the same.
But it's just wild.
So if it's in a drink, that makes no difference because they're crushed up anyway.
So when I'm having a cocktail,
Whoa! You want to slip up on that word?
strawberry daiquiri, I can go, excuse me, have you got any wild strawberries?
Do that.
Instead?
Stick in the smaller ones.
Okay, all right. Nice.
Yeah. Well done to. I'm going to get his name wrong. Aldrich Potgeider. I can't remember his surname. I watched the golf last night in the Rocket. What was it called? The Rocket something. The Rocket Golf Cup, right?
Yeah.
Rocket Mortgage, it might have been. Anyway, it went to a playoff between three of them, and it was it went one whole playoff. Hole 1, draw. Hole 2, draw. Hole 3. I think one of them fell out. Hole 4 went 5 holes. I think I got to bed at half 12. I was like, unbelievable.
What's his name?
Aldrich.
Second name, please.
No. Potgeider. Someone was saying.
Oh, him. Oh, yeah.
But he was brilliant. Only 20 years old, by the way. And by the way, what a putter he is. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
It was great. You can't beat live sport on a Sunday, can you? Do you know what I mean?
No, I watched a lot of the Club World Cup. It was brilliant. Loved
We'll
it.
talk about that a bit later on. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. Right, should we move on?
Where's my iPad not charging?
Should we do that?
Yeah, sorry.
So that people can text you with that answer. Right, Chelsea, they are through to the quarterfinals of the Club World Cup. And, of course, their signings keep on coming. So, are you comfortable with their spending powder?
Palmer threads it through. Dewsbury Hall in on goal, and he makes it 4-1. And Chelsea finish with a flourish. Chelsea are into the quarterfinals of the Club World Cup.
I think Chelsea can go to the semi-finals. My heart says yes. My head says Man City already look very, very good.
Jamie Gittins can fall into that category, 20-year-old winger. This one's definitely getting close, Chelsea's number one choice.
By the way, I meant power, not powder. You come to with their spending powder. Are you comfortable with their spending power? Wow. They just keep on going. Chelsea, they're going to play Palmeiras now in the quarterfinals of the Club World Cup. They beat Benfica 4-1 on Saturday night. It's a game, I'm sure you're aware of this, it took over 4 hours to complete due to the storm warnings, which led to the game being suspended. As they progress through the competition, their spending looks to continue as well. They've had a bid of £55 million for Jamie Gittins accepted by Dortmund. They also have agreed a deal worth £60 million for Brighton. For João Pedro, it's nuts. Super Ali McCoy was alongside Jeff Stelling on the Breakfast Show this morning and said he's not sure that Pedro takes Chelsea to the next level.
I like him. I do. I think he's a good player. I don't think there's any getting away from that, and he's kind of fitting the bill that they're signing at this moment in time, isn't he, in terms of his age and all that kind of stuff. But where's he going to play? You probably think he's going to come off a side. I know he can play 10. I'm not sure he's an out-and-out centre forward. You know, get Delap now. Put question mark, I think, against maybe Jackson, Marieke, one or two of those players.
Would he be an improvement on Jackson or Madueke?
Oh, slightly. Would be mentioning that. I mean, time will tell. But you're right. I don't think it's a sign that's made me go, wow.
We'll talk about the signings that have or haven't made you go wow in just a moment. But those two signings, they're going to take Chelsea's summer spending beyond £200 million. Obviously spent big in previous windows as well under 3 owners. How do you feel? I was going to say, are you comfortable with the amount of money they're spending? But I would imagine, I say obviously, I'd imagine it's all within financial fair play. Otherwise, they wouldn't be going near it. But it seems every other day they're getting out of the checkbook and spending £55-60 million.
I thought I was going down with him and Brighton because they are going to Brighton again.
Listen,
we need a left back. Yeah, we got one for you. We need a striker here. Throw one in as well, yeah. And to be fair to, by the way, Brighton must be doing something right because all of a sudden now you look at Cucurella, he looks every penny that what they spent on him.
You didn't when they got him?
No, and Caicedo now looks probably like a bargain.
Unbelievable.
100 million, he looks brilliant. So I haven't got a problem with it because clearly, as you said there, they're obviously doing everything within the regulation. So that's why I've not got no issue with it. I like João Pedro. He was a lot better last season. When I say last season, not the season just gone, the one before, when he hit 20 goals. He was better then. 40 games played, 20 goals. And he looked really like, even though the 20 he scored weren't all in the league, I think he only got 9 Premier League goals, right? But he just looked very, very good.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure if he takes Chelsea to the next level.
Where's he play?
I think
what is he, a 10?
I think he's a 10 off the left, more of the. I mean, he can play striker.
Yeah.
But he's a very intelligent footballer, and I do like him. And I always felt when it was the 3 at Watford, there was him, there was Emmanuel Dennis, and there was Ismail Assar. I always thought he maybe was the one in the middle. I always thought Ismail Assar was the best, then him, and then Emmanuel Dennis. But I mean, Chelsea have obviously got a format. He's only 23 years old, so he fits the criteria in what they're trying to sign. They have got a number of options now in attacking areas. I mean, they're going to have to let some go. Like Sterling, we haven't heard anything. He'd have to go. Madueke's being linked to Arsenal. And Kunku's linked to your club, Manchester United, as well. So they're going to have to get rid of a few. But does he make Chelsea a lot stronger? I would say no. But he's a good player. Like he's just another good player that they've added to their squad.
Chelsea have already earned £40 million from the Club World Cup. That's another £15 million is up for grabs in the quarterfinals. So they basically started to pay for these signings already. So that underlines just how important a competition, even though we've all pooed it, for the club, for the owners, so important to keep going in this comp.
Well, if you're in it, then why not? Because as you said there, if you're the manager as well, and you might not like it, like Maresca said that he doesn't like this World Cup. He gave quite a passionate interview about it.
Really did.
Didn't like it. But if the owners say, listen, the further you progress, you're going to have more money to spend, all of a sudden he's like, okay, you know, I don't like it, but I'll keep trying to do what I need to do to get some more funds to bring in better quality players. So, I mean, it's now getting interesting in that Club World Cup. Chelsea there in the mix, putting a really good performance against Benfica in the 3-hour game that they played.
4 minutes to go. I
still play it.
Yeah.
Do you know what though? My only thing with that, and I was quite quick to say to my son, like, why are they doing that? Just play it. But if something was to happen, what was that?
I don't know what that was. That was my phone. That's weird, isn't it? I've never heard that noise. Apologies. No. I've never heard that. And look. Oh. Sorry, yeah, my alarm's going off. Go on, carry on.
Yeah, I mean, who sets their alarm for 40 minutes past 4?
No. Go on. Carry on.
I know what you're doing.
I've got to do that. Hold on. Right, go on, carry on.
Yeah, so, yeah, you've lost me. But yeah, I think for João Pedro, I think it's another good signing. I'm not saying if their rivals won't be looking at this signing again.
No.
You look at Liverpool with the Wirtz one, and you even look at Man City with the Shirky and the Reinders, and you go, oh my goodness. This one here, you go, he's a good player, but it doesn't strike you with a lot of fear.
Well, Chelsea fans be looking at this going, okay, yeah, another player added to the squad, but right? Where's our goalkeeper? Where's our number 9? I know Liam Delap's come in, but it wasn't his best game, right? He looked a little bit off it.
I think
I
think they might. Well, they're still trying to get it. Man United, aren't they, from AC Milan? That's the one they want to get, the goalkeeper.
Well, they've got to get that.
I think if they do get it, then that's problem solved. But I mean, Sanchez, even against Benfica, he makes really good saves. But there was one moment where he tried to pass the ball out and pretty much passed it straight to the attacker.
Yeah, it's poor.
It's poor. These things can't happen.
Well, listen, we'll take calls from all football fans about how comfortable you are with Chelsea's spending that continues, that obviously isn't breaking financial fair play. Just can't, right? And they've just earned another £40 million from this competition alone. 03717223344. And also Chelsea fans, what do you make about this player, João Pedro, that's coming in for around about 55-60 million? You can have your say simply by picking up the phone. A real busy show, but that's how we start with Chelsea and spending chat. 03717223344. Dial that number. You can have your say next live on Drive on talkSPORT. think I'm right in saying this is Mungo Jerry. You like this? In the summertime.
A bit of Will Smith next. Summertime?
No. Oh, you could do that, yeah. Don't know how I feel about Will Smith.
Why?
I think he's trying too hard to win everyone back.
No, he didn't lose anyone.
He lost everyone, mate.
Lose me,
With old
mate.
slap.
Yeah, listen, don't talk about him like that. Keep my name out your mouth.
What was all that about?
Oh, wow.
That was very bizarre. Wasn't it?
And will I still trust?
Have you seen, right, the black and white movie where that's reenacted in? Have you seen that?
No.
And everyone's like, oh, they've obviously nicked that from that movie from the 40s. But I mean, there's no way that could have happened. They just reenacted that.
I think so. But either way, I'm still.
That was very bizarre. Who's the fellow
Chris
here?
Rock.
Chris Rock. Yeah.
I'm still Will Smith in.
No, mate.
You are.
You can't slap the host of a TV show.
Well, it was the Oscars.
Was it the Oscars?
Well, listen,
It
happens, mate.
Can't do that.
I'm Will Smith in.
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Bex did it, you builder. You boot.
Yeah, get to the right punch up. It's your drive on talkSPORT with me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent at Motorpoint. Thousands of cars, all unbeatable prices guaranteed. Head to motorpoint.co.uk for details. Still to come, we'll be asking if Lee Carsley deserves a knighthood. Who else should have a knighthood, Darren?
You.
Why?
Because my charger wouldn't charge. You said turn it off, put it back on, and it will start charging. And it did.
You like that?
Yeah, legend.
Just quickly, a decision. Oh, this will be interesting. Decision on whether Crystal Palace can compete in next season's Europa League has been delayed by UEFA until the outcome of Lyon's appeal against their relegation to the French second division.
I hope it happens for Palace. I mean,
of course, I do as well.
Do you know what I
really
mean?
do. But my fear is the rules were in place for a reason. And it's irrelevant if Palace gets sold now. It had to be done by March.
No, but
I'm just telling you the rules.
Yeah, I get the rules, but sometimes you got a bit of human error and also a bit of.
Well, it's not error. It's not human error.
No, but
it's not human error.
Yeah, from Palace's perspective.
It's not error. They didn't do it by mistake. They assumed that they wouldn't be playing.
There you go. But a bit of compassion. Come on.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, common sense.
Football is about feeling.
Yeah.
It's about heart. It's about the people.
Yeah,
Come on.
Common sense needs to prevail. I totally agree. Evan Striker, Dominic Calvert-Lewin has said he has made an incredibly difficult decision to leave his club as his contract expires today. We'll talk about that a bit later on.
I mean, did Everton offer him a contract?
No.
So what's the decision?
No decision to make. Was it?
When I read that this morning, part of me did think, well, I've not read anything about him offering a new contract. So what decision are you making?
Incredibly difficult decision to leave the club.
I mean,
no decision. It should read he had no decision to make whatsoever. The first day at Wimbledon, well and truly underway. Let's get an update from talkSPORT's Lisa O'Sullivan.
Looking down on the glorious green grass of centre court, where a frustrated Carlos Alcaraz is one set apiece against the 38-year-old Italian Fabio Fognini, who is serving to level things up in the third set. But yeah, Alcaraz really looking quite frustrated at times here. And as Fognini chucks down a double fault. Let's talk about some of the young players that we've got for the Brits, because Henry Searle won the junior title here in 2023. He's just taken the first set against Ethan Quing. 16-year-old Hannah Klugman, who got to the final of the French Open last month, has lost the first set to Leylah Fernandez of Canada, but is 3-2 up in the second in her match. And Jacob Fernley is getting roasted over on court number one by João Fonseca, the 18-year-old from Brazil, who leads 6-4, 6-1, 4 games all. Of the 5 Brits who finished, 4 have booked their place in the second round.
Good work as always. All the tennis has started today, so I'll be keeping you up to date with that, as you'd imagine. Now we're taking your calls. We're talking about Chelsea spending 03717222344. Johnny's a Brighton fan. Hi, Johnny.
Hello, boys. You all right?
Happy Monday to you. How hot is it where you are?
Well, it's staying in the car at the moment. It's 35 degrees, so very hot.
Aircon?
Got the aircon full blast.
Yeah. How do we cope before aircon, eh?
I don't know. We can't do it in this country.
No, we can't.
In this country, we can't do anything. If it rains too much, we can't cope.
Yeah,
too much heat, we can't cope.
If there's leaves falling off a tree, we're in trouble. Go on then, Johnny. What would you like to say?
I was just calling in just to say, is it Chelsea and Hove Albion or?
Oh, what? Sorry.
Chelsea and Hove Albion. We should be calling them.
Yeah, they're buying all your players. You got a problem with it?
No, not really. I mean, you know, we've signed players for next to nothing, and we're selling them for millions of pounds profit.
Do you know what, Johnny, as well, which is, I think, the most impressive thing, is that when you've had these players over the years, you've had the Trossards, you've had the Basuma, you've had, obviously, João Pedro now, Caicedo, there's no drop-off in the team either. You lose these players, and for whatever reason, obviously, Caicedo leaves, you get Belieber. There seems to be no drop-off in the team. You're never close to relegation. You're always just there or thereabouts.
This is exactly it. I'm not worried. João Pedro going, I wasn't worried in the slightest, because we're still there. We're still knocking on the door, and it's great to see. You know, we've come a long way. So they can, for all I care, they can keep buying our players and we'll take the profit.
Johnny, just how good is he?
Oh, João Pedro.
Yeah.
You know what? He's a great player, but his attitude sometimes. It's his attitude. You know, it's last season. He got the red card, and he probably should have got another one for that elbow when he missed. I can't remember who it was. And I think there might have been a bit of a falling out, and that's why they've let him go.
Who's getting the better end of the deal, the bargain, Johnny? Is it Chelsea for getting João Pedro, or you for 55 million?
We are.
You
100%.
are.
Yeah. We are.
Okay.
Because I'm not worried. If I was worried, then I'm not. So we're getting the better end of the deal.
All right.
Lovely.
Thanks, Johnny. All these players they're buying, there's got to be an end game, obviously.
Chelsea.
Right? When is that end game?
I mean, they're now pushing for honours. They're now pushing for the Premier League titles, I think. But you go 3-4 years, all these players kind of progress and gel like we expect them to. Mate, they'll have one hell of a squad.
I know, but they're buying these players not to win FA Cups and League Cups, to win Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues.
I won't put it against them to do that.
But Liverpool look unstoppable. Though,
mate, I saw Chelsea 2012. Weren't the best team in that tournament, they win it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Everyone, and I never forget this, before they played Man City in the one they did win against, when they beat Man City 1-0, but do you remember that the build-up that game was all about Man City winning their first one? No one showed Chelsea any respect.
Yeah.
It was like,
but
Man
sometimes
City,
that happens in games. Like when we played Man City in the cup final a few years ago, we shouldn't have got a sniff, you know?
No, and these things happen. And Chelsea are one of those clubs over the years that find a way from some. It doesn't matter who's in charge. They find a way from somewhere.
Still to come, we'll be taking a look back on the Lions winning their first game of the Tour Down Under over the weekend. But first, it's time for No Googling. Yes, we have a part of the show. If you're new to our show, 4:30, 5:05, 6:30, we ask you a question. You can't cheat, can't Google it. If you just shout at the radio and have an argument with your mates. We've been discussing Chelsea's spending. We want to know who's the first player this century to break the British transfer record. The answer to that and more coming up live and Drive and talkSPORT after this.
more sleeps until the Bazballers step back into the breach for round 2 against India at the ever-exuberant Edgbaston. An unchanged bowling attack means Jofra Archer, though in the squad, will be on the bench. Clearly, Rob Keys listened to talkSPORT and followed the advice of his bestie, Steve Harmison.
I think England have pulled off a little flanker here because you can have a substitute. He can then now go into the game for Sussex against Warwickshire, and I would have him as a substitute and then bring him in for the Lord's Test match.
Okay. Thomas Williams is out. Ben White is in for the Lions after the Welshman's first ever try for the touring side resulted in the end of his tour. Gordon Darcy says it was an agonising watch.
Every player, every sports person just went, that's it. It's done. You knew his tour was over.
On day 1 at Wimbledon, delight for British qualifier and Grand Slam debutant Joe Tarver. The 21-year-old world number 719 is into the second round with a straight sets win over Leandro Riedi. Can anyone stop Alcaraz and Sinner from staging another Grand Slam classic in the final?
Look, can you ever count out Djokovic? I'm not too sure. Every time I feel like, he's finished kind of thing, he always surprises us. So I think Sinner and Alcaraz are probably the favourites, but Draper and Djokovic would be just behind.
Don't miss Wimbledon Unfiltered with Nick Kyrgios tonight at 7 and every weekday onwards from 8 p.m. on your smart TV.
Jack's mixing. Go on, Jack, look at his little face. Listen to Drive talks about me, Andy Goldstein, and the singer Darren Bent. Before the break, ask the question: who's the first player this century to break the British transfer record? I've got the answer as a clue.
Gone.
You ready?
No.
First name.
Yeah.
It's the first number.
1.
It's the first name. Second name is.
Juan Pablo Angel.
No. Second name is.
That's not bad though.
Is a type of band that you wrap round stuff to keep it.
Elastic.
That's his middle name.
One elastic.
Yeah.
Not one Paolo One Chop.
No.
Oh, no, where Paolo? Okay.
Right.
What? One elastic.
Yeah, and last one is O'Sullivan's first name.
Ronnie.
Yeah, but without the IE.
So Ron.
What you got?
One elastic Ron.
Yeah. You got it?
One elastic Ron.
No, don't say it quickly.
One elastic Ron.
Yeah. Oh, you should be able to get that.
One elastic Ron.
Yeah. You should be able to get that.
One elastic Ron. No. Still don't.
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, go on.
Juan Sebastian Veron.
One elastic Ron. Yeah, you're right. It's a good clue. Someone's put here.
I don't know if it's a good clue.
Equally as impressive. ST's name is. Is Andy off his shift at Pizza Express after the show?
Well, because the top I got on. Is that Pizza Express?
Oh, Charlie Baker did what?
What? I didn't tell
Charlie
you.
Baker wore the same top yesterday.
What, on Sunday? What's wrong with that?
Pizza Express.
Did he? That's because we got the same shift.
Yeah.
I've got this one in red, right? And people say, you don't like it?
Don't wear it again. You're better than that.
Am I?
Well, listen, you don't work it.
Hold on.
Shout out Pizza Express. I love your food and that, but you don't work there.
I don't work there. No, you're right. I clearly don't work there. Okay, so I need Travis Scott T-shirts. Still to come, we'll be asking if Lee Carsley deserves a knighthood. But first, the British and Irish Lions won the first game of their tour down under. It was on Saturday. And, of course, it was live right here on talkSPORT.
First tour game on Australian soil. It's the British and Irish Lions playing the Western Force in Perth.
Pollock's got it back and he's barreling his way forward. Up and over the 22. Keeps going. 5 metres out. Can he get the offload away? Yes, he can. Thomas Williams will score for the Lions.
A brilliant indication of just how good a talent Henry Pollock is.
How can we not talk about this guy when he does things like that? Daly and Tui Piloto out to Mac Hansen. Returns it back in field. And Gary Ringrose will score for the Lions. Now there's a pile up because there's a lot of bodies in a very small area and there's a bit of push and shove. Hansen is now making his way to the 22 and gives to Alex Mitchell, and the Lions scrum half will round things off. And that is that. Western Force 7, British and Irish Lions 54.
I had that down for a draw. The British and Irish Lions cruised a 54-7 win against Western Force in the first game of their tour down under over the weekend. And Andy Farrell was also named his squad for their next game against Queensland Reds on Wednesday. Of course, you can hear that one live and exclusive on talkSPORT 2. Let's get more on all of the above now as we can speak to former British and Irish Lion. And I'm guessing someone that only uses the room he's currently in for just Zoom calls. Alex Cuthbert joins us. Hi, Alex. How are you?
Yeah, good lads. How are you doing? And it is my Zoom room. Yes.
What is that room? Because it looks like you're just showing someone around a house, and you're saying, and this is one of the bedrooms, not the biggest, but you can use it as a bedroom.
Yes, one out in the court. It's the furthest away from the kids, mate. I'll be honest.
Oh,
so
that room's worth a fortune in my house. Wow.
It's locked. It's got a locked door from the inside.
Good boy. How are you? You look well. You good? You all right?
Yeah, very well, mate. Yeah, been busy. It's good. Exciting. This tour starting. It's been a good start, I think.
Yeah. Well, listen. Let's start with that game because it really was a dominant win on the scoreboard. But what can you learn from a win like that?
I think they're probably resilient. I think the Western Force threw an awful lot of them at the first half. They had a lot of the ball. Look at the territory possession. I think the Force were 60%. In favour of the ball, and they only conceded one try. I thought they were. It showed progression from the week before. There weren't as many errors. The discipline was probably a big thing. I think Andy Farrell spoke about it, but it was good to see Finn Russell stand up and probably nail his name to that starting 10 shirt. I think that was what everyone was that was the question, I think, before that game. Was he the man to take the Lions going forward? And for me, I think that from that game, you probably saw that.
I mean, you mentioned the territory there, and you're right, before the break, it seemed like Western Force had a lot of it. Do you think little things like that will worry Andy Farrell?
No, I don't think so much. But one of the big talking points was how the referee reffed the game a little bit. So that the guy, O'Keefe, he'd be refereeing the first game in the tests. And he gave not one defensive penalty at the breakdown. So, when we talk about the breakdown, a defender trying to get over the ball, he gave no jackals. So if he's not given penalties like that, he's obviously a very attack-based team. So if you have the ball for long periods of time, it's only going to benefit you long-term. So I think that took a while for the Lions to sort of clock onto, because you saw it shifted a lot in the second half. The Lions didn't kick as much and they kept the ball a little bit longer.
Listen, while we've got to talk about the fact that the squad's been named for Wednesday's game against Queensland Reds. The big news is that our scrum half, Williams, will fly home with a serious ending knee injury, so we wish him all the best with that. The coach, Andy Farrell, he's been speaking to the media and reflected to that news.
I think we all saw what it meant to him with the announcement of how hard he's worked and what a season he's had to get to this point. And we're not just going to miss an outstanding player. I mean, I thought he played unbelievably well, and it was some try, wasn't it, that he actually got injured by. But we're going to miss the bloke. We've only been together for a few weeks now, but his character is everything that Alliance Tour you want to have in your group.
Let's start with the obvious question. To lose someone like Thomas Williams, ruled out for the tour, that's massive, isn't it?
Yeah, it's huge, mate, because I think he was definitely pushing Gibson Park for that number 9 shirt, and not Andy said about that. I know him quite well. He's a good mate of mine, and he is a top bloke off the field. You know, he's very dry sense of humour. He's very good at getting into sort of the bigger lads. He's not scared of that. You know, he's very good in that environment, and to lose him is massive. Especially, you know, we only saw glimmers of how good he can be. You know, he's Premiership Player of the Year. He is a top class player, and to lose someone like that early on is quite big because you know I think Ben White's a good player. But he's not on Thomas Williams' level.
There's nothing you can do, right? We need these warm-up games. They have to be physical. You can't go into these games half-hearted. So, you know, it's just what happens in all sports, right? It's just really unfortunate.
Yeah, but really unlucky. It's probably accumulation of such a long season. You know, he's played nearly every game for Gloucester. They went deep into their league, the cup competition, and then obviously Six Nations with Wales and the autumn. You add it up, it is a long old season, and you need a little bit of luck in those situations. And obviously he's done it in the, you know, scoring a try. He's dived and he's just tweaked his hammy, and that's the end of the tour. You know, it's a brutal nature of rugby and the Lions tour.
Alex, can I ask, with regards to how these players are looked after, I'm guessing that their form, their energy levels, everything, it's all monitored throughout the tour in the build-up to it. There's no way that someone could have seen, you mentioned just how many games Thomas had been playing, there's no way that they could have seen this potentially being a problem to him and maybe should have rested him or not?
No, he was. I don't think so. You know, in terms of, you know, the nutrition, the I guess the physio side of the game is absolutely paramount. You know, they do monitoring in the morning, so how well you're feeling, how you're waking up. They do all that, you know, hamstring stiffness. They do literally everything to the 1%. And this is just one of those sort of game situations in a game. He's obviously just dived in a little bit of an awkward position, and his hamstring is just said no to it. It's just absolutely brutal. I'm gutted for the man because he's worked so hard to get there, and I think you saw the emotion when he got picked. When he's selected, he was crying his eyes out on Zoom in front of, you know, however many people. So it meant an awful lot to him.
We talk about the amount of games that they play, and I think there's 14 changes have been made now for the next game from the team that played at the weekend. I think Finn Russell's the only one who keeps his place. Can you read anything into that? And also, do you think Andy Farrell in his head knows exactly who he wants to start in every position?
No, not at all. I think he'd probably have the certain, you know, the key positions. So like hooker, probably Maratoji at lock. I think Jack Conan at 8 would be one of them, and then obviously that 9 and 10 axis is huge. So obviously Gibson Park, you're probably going to play him 60, 70 minutes this weekend and wrap him up in cotton wool a little bit. I think Finn Russell will probably have a little run out and then a break. So you want to build up to be in that Saturday team, Benty, in terms of, you know, the test match is on the 19th. The last game is on the 12th of July on the Saturday. And that will be, I guess, a determination of probably what the team is going to look like going into that first test. Because you're going to have a proper hit out as a team to, you know, really make sure everything's crossed off in terms of the way they want to play going into that first test.
I've wondered that, because is that common that like the coach would do that? Because in football, when England are playing, we pretty much know what the team's going to be, and there's maybe 1 or 2 spots where there's a question mark over it. Is it always where there's so many spots up for grabs, even this close to the start of the tour?
Yeah, because I remember in the tour I was in 2013, you could probably nail the team on for the Saturday, but we had a game on the Tuesday or Wednesday before, and 3 or 4 lads played so well, they had to be involved in the 23 on the weekend. So it can really change, you know, a coach's perception in terms of, right, that's the guy I need to be in the 20, he needs to be in the 23, you know. Someone like Henry Pollock, he's in that conversation, isn't he? You know, people say he's a little bit, you know, raw in terms of the amount of penalties he gets, but his point of difference is so big. It gets to the point where how can I not have him in my 23? So it's a real juggling match, because all the players on that tour are world class, and it's just how, I guess, they really buy into the way that Andy Farrell wants to play quickly. You know, he's someone that he can rely on in those 65th, 70th minute in a test match, 2 or 3 points down or up. You know, they are such fine margins at that test level.
Alex, when you were talking about the team for Wednesday, you mentioned Itoje. I just wonder whether or not it's the right call, because not just as a player but as a captain. Did you think maybe potentially he will be given another rest here or not?
No, I think he'll probably have a good shift this weekend. I think James Ryan is on the bench, so he'll probably come on quite quickly for maybe Mario. Obviously, then they got the Warriors on the weekend. And then they got a couple of, there's some really tough games coming up, to be honest. They're playing the Aussie Kiwi team, and obviously we saw today they brought in a couple of Aussies a couple of Kiwis that got dropped from the Kiwi side. So they're going to be a real strong side, real test before the test. But there will be times where you need a week recovery, because some of these lads may even be involved in 3 games in a row, and then they'll have a bit of a break. That's the whole point of this tour. It's a brutal tour, and Andy Farrell's just trying to find the best team possible for that first test.
Alex, thanks so much for coming on.
Cheers, Alex.
I'm just so curious as to what else is in that room. It just looks so bare. What's in the cupboard behind you? Anything in there?
There's a couple of shirts, teams that I used to play for. That's usually where a lot of this is.
Okay.
And yeah, sort of my room where I can get away from the kids.
The dumping room, the dumping ground, right?
Yes, yeah, that's it. It's one of them right at the back.
Yeah, you need every house.
Next time I'll go out. I'll go to the downstairs for you. Is that all right?
Maybe by the swimming pool. Yeah.
By the pool. Yeah, I've just cleaned it out. So
perfect. Okay, that or the cinema room, whatever floats your boat. Listen, we're big fans of yours. Thank you so much for your time. Have a wonderful day.
Hey, legend. Cheers, lads. Have a good one.
Cheers,
you too. There you go, for Alex Cuthbert. A reminder, of course, our next game, British and Irish Lions take on Queensland Reds. That's on Wednesday. You can hear that one live and exclusive on talkSPORT 2. Listen, John, I'm talking sport with me, Andy Goldstein. I've got a shift later on. What time are we off? 7. Should be at Pizza Express by 7.
No, someone said you got a sailing trip after work. That was from
Do you not like
Reece
it?
Morris.
Do you not like the T-shirt?
Listen, I've seen you wear other bits where I go, yeah, okay, nice.
This isn't one of them.
I mean, it's just very. I don't know why. I know.
Tell me what's wrong with it. Tell me what's wrong with it.
It's got very Where's Wally vibes about it.
Yeah, it has, yeah.
But he was red when he red and white.
Yes, I've got one in red as well. Get rid of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, clear out. Okay. And our friends at Motorpoint, new car with same-day drive-away available on all cars. Book a test drive today. See, we're never too old to learn, are we?
You're not old.
No, I know, but we're never too old. Just quickly, Aston Villa, have agreed a deal to sell their women's team to their parent company, V Sports, for a fee in the region of £55 million. All of that doesn't sit comfortably with me.
No.
Chelsea did it as well, didn't they? Sold it to themselves. I'm not quite sure how that works. First day, women and well and truly underway. Let's get an update from talkSPORT's Lisa O'Sullivan.
Well, the crowd who are not being slowly basted by the weather on Centre Court are absolutely loving this battle between Carlos Alcaraz, looking for a three-peat at Wimbledon this time round, against Fabio Fognini. They are locked at... Well, actually, Carlos Alcaraz just taken the third set to go 2-1 up and has held serve in the opening game of the fourth, but both of them really feeling the heat, and you look like they want to go and have a cold shower right now. Both of them look a little fatigued, should we say. Just seen Jacob Fernley go out, beaten by the 18-year-old Brazilian João Fonseca, 6-4, 6-1, 7-6 the win there. But there have been victories today for Sunny Cartel in the number 3 British woman, Oliver Tarvett, who's going to play the winner of this match between Alcaraz and Fognini. Cam Norrie's also through, as is Arthur Ferry.
Good work as always. Right, Keith Andrews has been speaking to the media for the first time since being appointed as the new Brentford manager. He joined the club as a set-piece coach last summer before taking over from Thomas Frank ahead of this coming season. He's only just finished speaking in the last few minutes, so we'll bring you some of that press conference as soon as we get it. But for now, we can get more from a man who was actually there at the press conference. talkSPORT's Ollie Klink joins us with his broken foot. Hello, Ollie, how are you?
Hi, guys. How you doing?
We're great. How are you? What's going on? What's happened? What was the mood like there?
Yeah, just spoken to Keith Andrews. Obviously, his first press conference. He was very cool. He was very calm and collected. I asked him initially about, the fact that if he'd been told about 2 or 3 years ago that he'd be heading into this season as a head coach, would he have expected it? And he was very honest. He just said, do you know what? I'll be honest, no, but that he feels ready, the path he's taken to get himself to this point, he's very confident in. And yeah, I mean, as far as he's concerned, he's ready to do the job. He was talking a lot about the fact that he knows the club very well. He obviously has relationships with all the players. So yeah, he felt like a man that's confident about the new role.
What do you think their expectations are then this season, Ollie? Because we obviously knew Thomas Frank did a wonderful job there, was there for a number of years, got them promoted, and then of course cemented them as a Premier League side. What do you think Keith Andrews' kind of role is this year? What are the expectations?
Well, if you think as well, Benny, about some of the departures that are on the way, potentially, Brian Mbeumo could be one of them. I actually asked him about the captain, Christian Norgard, going and whether he knew about that situation before he got the role. And he said, look, you have to expect interest in some of these players. But it is a big summer of change, isn't it? Let's be completely honest about it. He did mention that he hopes the club are working on a few incomings in order to replace those players. But this is the way that Brentford operates. It's not the first time, of course, that they've hired from within. It's not the usual thing that a Premier League club does. And in terms of new players coming in, they've got big shoes to fill, especially in Norgard and in Mbeumo potentially. So, yeah, it's certainly a big task, isn't it? Especially for his first managerial role.
How did he look? Sometimes we see a manager in this situation, they look a little bit like a rabbit caught in the headlights. Did he look calm and relaxed and like he'd been there for a long time? Was there a lot of laughing and joking? What was the mood like in there?
Yeah, like I say, very chilled out. I'd even argue, Goldstein, he's got nicer hair than you as well, which is a hell of an achievement.
Love that.
He really has.
Ollie, at least he's got hair, right?
Yeah, I'm one to talk, really, aren't I? But yeah, no, like I say, he's very chilled kind of personality. I feel like with with someone like Thomas Frank, he's a big character. He did mention that he'd spoken to Thomas Frank as well. Mentioned, of course, they've both been quite busy. But he was actually asked a question about this, and in terms of the manager he wants to be. What kind of manager are we going to see? And he just said, look, I'm going to just be myself as much as possible. And from what I've seen so far, he seems like someone who's very relaxed.
Ollie, from what you saw today, because it came out the blue, I didn't expect them to appoint him. I thought they would have gone a different candidate. But from what you heard today, can you see why he's got the job? Because clearly he's done something well or impressed in the meeting with the owners as to why he's got the job. Did you see any of that today which made you go, do you know what? I can see why he's got the job.
Yeah, and do you know what, actually? The director of football, Phil Giles, was also there, and he talked about that process and just being impressed with the presentation that Keith Andrews put forward. He just said that essentially he was ticking every box, and that they did look at external candidates, but of course, as a club, they look from within first, and he just said that Keith Andrews was the standout, really. He was talking about wanting to play relentless football, but also understanding that you can't always do that in the Premier League, and you have to be able to adapt. Which actually, when you think, in the current game and the modern game, when new managers want to make a name for themselves, that's usually the opposite of what they're trying to say. In that sense, it feels like the club themselves are also confident in this decision.
Ollie, listen, thanks for coming on. Have you got any factor 50? Because the back of your head, or as you call it, your forehead, it's looking a bit red.
My six head, it's in a bit of trouble, I think, mate. Better slap some on.
Well, listen, keep up the wonderful, and it is wonderful what you do for talkSPORT. Always much appreciated, Ollie. Thanks so much, man. How's the foot, by the way? How's the foot?
Oh, yeah, I can probably show you now for people watching on YouTube. I've got a massive boot on my right foot. Should be healed up, though, hopefully in about 6 weeks. So I should have put that to Keith Andrews. I might be ready for the new season.
Yeah. What a way to get it as well. Taking a penalty against, who was it? Van der Sar?
Just Champions League winning goalkeeper Edwin van der Sar on the third one. I scored past him, but don't worry about it. It's fine, yeah.
Yeah, I tell you what, I was there, and you're secretly safe with me. I won't tell anyone you were crying like a baby.
Thanks, Andy.
Ollie, have a lovely day. Thanks, man.
You too, mate. Thank you.
There you go, one for Ollie Klink. We posted, talkSPORT posted his penalty. You saw his ankle roll. It was awful, wasn't it?
But he took two more after
that. Yeah, still scored him.
Yeah.
Good work. How do you think Andrews will get on, Keith Andrews? It's a big risk. I've said this a million times before. A club in the Premier League where we're talking millions upon millions of pounds is at risk if you don't survive. It's a huge gamble from the club.
My only thing with that, and you're right, is a huge gamble because on the outside, I'm not privy to anything that goes on at Brentford, but clearly, when they sat down with him, something must have for them to go give him the job. Something must have impressed, must have resonated in them and gone, you know what, we believe in him. So I put it into the trust of the owners and the chief executive, and if they feel he's the right man for the job, then fair play.
But when we come back, we're talking about a manager who's done absolute wonders since he's been in charge of the under-21s, but we're going to question why he's not going to a club like Brentford, Lee Carsley. We'll talk about just the amazing job he's done with the kids, the England kids. That's where we're going right after this. If you want to be a part of the show, you can by picking up the phone 03717 22 We'll also talk about Dominic Calvert-Lewin, free agent now. The best of talkSPORT is still to come, and we'll talk about the fact that from this year, Wimbledon have got no line judges. It's all computers now. Is this good or bad for sport? Lots coming up between now and 7. This is Drive on talkSPORT.
As UEFA refuse to make a decision for themselves, Crystal Palace's Europa League multi-club ownership saga rumbles on. They're waiting for the result of Lyon's appeal against relegation from Ligue 1 over poor finances. This is all despite the fact that US owner John Textor has sold his Palace shares and is stepping down from Lyon, but he missed UEFA's March deadline to do so. Here's our European expert, Andy Brassel.
Now, we know there's already an agreement between UEFA and Lyon that they can participate in the Europa League if they're allowed to stay up. The more distance that Lyon and Palace can get away from John Textor, the better it looks for both of them.
2 more sleeps until the Bazballers step back into the breach for round 2 against India at the ever-exuberant Edgbaston. An unchanged bowling attack means Jofra Archer, though in the squad, will be on the bench. Clearly, Rob Keys listened to talkSPORT and followed the advice of his bestie, Steve Harmison.
I think England have put off a little flanker here because you can have a substitute. So once he's released from England, he can then now go into the game for Sussex against Warwickshire, and I would have him as a substitute and then bring him in for the Lord's Test match.
OK. Thomas Williams is out. Ben White is in for the Lions after the Welshman's first ever try for the touring side resulted in the end of his tour. Gordon Darcy says it was an agonising watch.
As soon as he scored that try and grabbed his hamstring, every player, every sports person just went, that's it. It's done. You knew his tour was over.
On day 1 at Wimbledon, delight for British qualifier and Grand Slam debutant Joe Tarver. The 21-year-old, world number 719, is into the second round with a straight sets win over Leandro Riedi. Can anyone stop Alcaraz and Sinner from staging another Grand Slam classic in the final?
Look, can you ever count out Djokovic? I'm not too sure. Every time I feel like he's finished kind of thing, he always surprises us. So I think Sinner and Alcaraz are probably the favourites, but Draper and Djokovic would be just behind.
Don't miss Wimbledon Unfiltered with Nick Kyrgios tonight at 7 and every weekday onwards from 8 p.m. on your smart TV.
Back to our number 2 drive and talkSPORT. Me, Andy Goldstein, superstar. It's Darren Bent here.
You about to go broke next week? After what Man United there.
I know the feeling. Still to come, Bent is going to give us his 5 free agents to keep an eye on this summer. But now England under 21s are still European champions. So how should Lee Carsley be rewarded?
Back to Morton, who delivers a great cross. Header in! John Rowe off the bench to score for England. It's England 3, Germany 2, early in extra time.
What an impact.
It is history for England's under-21s. A 4th European Championship title, and they are the first team ever to win it back-to-back.
Each and every player in this squad deserved this, and I'm thrilled to bits for them all.
1982, 84, 2023, and now 2025. England's young guns are kings of Europe again. The ticker tape goes off. McAtee hoists the trophy high up into the air. The England players jumping up and down in delight.
Unbelievable achievement. England have retained the under-21 European Championship after a dramatic 3-2 extra time win against Germany. Harvey Elliott and Amari Hutchinson gave England a 2-goal lead before Germany forced extra time, where Jonathan Rowe scored the only goal in it to win it for England. Lee Carsley signed a new 2-year deal as the under-21 boss at the start of this month, and football writer Henry Winter joined the Breakfast Show this morning, and he said that Carsley will be the main candidate to take over from Thomas Tuchel when he eventually leaves the job.
Your point about Lee with the seniors, 5 games he won. Obviously, the game he lost against Greece, he played without striker. He got a lot of criticism. Then Tuchel came in and everyone rightly said, look, Tuchel's an elite level coach and I can understand why the FA went for him. But Lee Carsley, with what he's done, back-to-back Euros, the way he has done it, the way he's also, just talking to him out in Slovakia, the way he learnt from that experience, going through the furnace of media and public scrutiny with England, I think he learnt from that, and absolutely he will be a contender when Tuchel leaves in the summer.
Which is nuts when you think about it, because he was a contender before Tuchel got the job. But we'll talk about that bit in a moment. Let's just talk about how impressive, and it's frighteningly impressive. I think it's sort of gone under the radar a bit. It should have been on all the back pages the day after, the day today, tomorrow, because it's just one of the... I think it's an incredible achievement for any manager, let alone one of ours, Lee Carsley, to win back-to-back Euros. That's frightening, isn't it?
Yeah, it's scary. Absolutely scary, because, as you said there, the job he's done, back-to-back Euros. I understand why people would think as well that he should probably be in the running to become England manager.
Why? I mean, he was, and we slaughtered him when he picked 9 players up top. I mean, then he went back to the under-21s and he won it.
Well, you know, and at the Euros, right, under-21 Euros, like he's had 10 games in charge. Obviously, we know he's won back-to-back. He's only lost 1.
Germany?
And Germany, that was it.
That was this time round, right?
Yeah, and the game before that, they drew with Slovenia. Other than that, they've won every single one. He has been incredible for the under-21s. But I'm not quite sure how desperate he is yet to, not so much be the England manager, because I think a lot of baggage comes with that role.
Yeah.
Also to step into a Premier League job, because right now, and I get it, it's all about ambition. But right now, he's got credit in the bank with the FA. He just won back-to-back Euros, right?
Oh, you can't get more credit.
Right. So he's obviously, I'm guessing, getting paid a nice wage by the FA, right? Decent.
I mean, any money he's going to get is going to be lovely. Right. But I don't know. I don't know what under-21 managers get.
But it's going to be nice, right?
What's it going to be? $1 million a year?
Okay.
No, what's your guess? I have no idea.
No, but I'm just saying. We'll have a look in a minute. We'll have a look in a minute. But
how will you find it?
I'll find out. But this is the thing I'm talking about, is that right now he's got that job. Not for life, but he's got that job for a while. So he can sit in there as comfortably as he likes. He doesn't have to work all the time. I know he gets the games here, there and everywhere, but he doesn't have to work. It's not day to day where you're on the training pitch every single day. The stress, you pick up the back pages, your local newspaper's giving it. Should Carsley go tomorrow? Do you know what I mean? He's got all that to deal with. So I just think right now he's probably thinking there's no rush. There is no rush whatsoever. When I feel like I'm ready and I feel like I've the job's done with the FA, done with the under-21s, because he was at the under-20s as well when he was at a lower age as well.
Yeah.
I think he'll then go, all right, now I'm ready to do it. But right now, for me, if you're Lee Carsley, what's the rush? What is the rush?
Well, it's not what's the rush, it's where's your ambition, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's
doing two back-to-back.
I mean, he's managing the country.
We've done under-21s.
Yeah,
we talked about Brentford got a new manager, right? Set-piece coach.
Yeah.
So Lee Carsley could do that job.
Yeah, but he might not have offered it to him.
No, I know, but do you not think he would want to? Do you not think he should put it out there? Like, that's how it works. You've got an agent.
Well, I think right now he's probably just comfortable where he's at. And I think his role at the FA is there for all to see. Going back-to-back Euros, although they've had some really, really good squads, he's managed to produce it. I just don't think right now there's any rush for him, because he might go somewhere, right? He might give up this, and he could go back to the FA. I'm not saying, because he's got credit in the bank, so there's no reason why he couldn't go back to the FA. But my point is, he goes somewhere. Brentford, not so much Brentford, because I think they're.
I know what you mean. It doesn't work out. You get lost.
He's gone. 6 months later, he's gone.
Yeah.
Like, what happens then? He's like, oh, brilliant. So I think he'll feel right. Do you know what? He's only 51 years old. It's about timing.
What's a better achievement? What Southgate did for the senior team with regards to, was it 2 Euros on the bounce finals, or what Lee Carsley's done with 2 wins on the bounce?
I mean, with that face value, you'd go, well, winning is better than losing, right?
So do you think that someone like Lee Carsley should be knighted?
I mean, knighted's a bit of a...
Well, I'm just asking. Southgate was.
Yeah, it's a bit of a difficult one, because Southgate did do a good job, like, but ultimately didn't win. But then, of course, the competition at that level, elite level, is a lot higher than at the 21s. Like, as I said before, the England under-21 squad for me is the last 2 tournaments has been the best squads in the competitions. So no, not knighted yet. When you do something at senior level,
that's the difference.
Or say he stays with the FA for the next 10-15 years, and they keep producing wins at youth level. He keeps producing these players that are going into the senior team and all that. Then there's a conversation to be had.
Let's talk about some of those players you mentioned, because it's quite sad when you see how great the under-21s have been. And usually when you get a group of players, well, certainly at club level, when young kids come through, obviously, the one in my mind is the United class of 92 that came through. And then they stick together for 10 years, 12 years, whatever it is, and they just win after win after win. But with England, just because you're making it under 21 level, it doesn't mean anything with regards to whether or not you'll play for the senior team, right?
No.
So I've got some players in front of me that I want to get your view on not how good they've been for the under 21s, but how you rate their chances of playing senior football for England. Okay, in no particular order, Jay Stansfield at Birmingham.
See, I can't see him playing for the national team at the minute. I mean, he might explode once he gets to, because remember he just got to the Championship with Birmingham.
Yeah,
he did a really good job in League One for Birmingham.
They paid a fortune for him, right?
Yeah, 15 million in the champion. My thing is, when you look at his goal return in League One last year, certainly, I mean, he got 12 goals, I think it was, last year. And, I mean, for a start up, but we've got 23 in total, should I say. That's probably a bit unfair. So he got 23 last year, 19 in the league, right?
That's a good return.
It's a good return, but it's League One. Now, you're talking about playing for the senior national side.
Yeah.
And remember, you've got traffic in his way. So you've just seen Delap move to Chelsea. He's there. Harry Kane is still going to be there or thereabouts. You've obviously got Solanke there. We don't know the situation with Ivan Toney. So there are players in his way. So can I see him at this current time sitting where I'm at, that he'll play for the senior side? Probably not.
It's a shame, isn't it? Because you've got all these great players. They work together, excuse me, as a team, and they're just going to be broken up. Amari Hutchinson, Ipswich, another player.
So I watched Amari Lowe's last year. Really talented player, but when you look at the abundance of talent that England have got in wide areas, again, he's going to find it difficult. But if he could somehow get himself back to the Premier League, then he's got all the attributes. Can he? I think his numbers need to be better. Last season in the Premier League, 3 goals, 2 assists. He got 3 goals in the Premier League, 2 assists.
That's because he's playing for Ipswich in the Premier League. It's tough.
It's tough, but
no, I know.
Do you know what I mean? But still, like, Delap's got to move to Chelsea off the back of being in the Championship. So
Harvey Elliott. No, it's going to be virtually, when everyone's fit at Liverpool, virtually impossible for him to break into that midfield.
Well, he needs to go somewhere and play week in, week out. Yeah. If he does that, he can get in the senior squad.
What kind of level is he looking at? Premier League?
Well, I mean, you go through the Premier League and you go, right, what top?
There's definitely clubs.
No, there's clubs for him, but what
level?
Well, he's not going to go City.
No, I wouldn't say he's going to start for a top 6, top 8 club.
He's not starting at City. He's not starting at Arsenal. He's not starting at. He's at Liverpool now. Newcastle, with that midfield they got, he ain't getting there.
No, but I can see him going to sort of like a Fulham or a West Ham.
He was there, so that's what they got.
No, I know. Or West Ham, or maybe a Palace if a few of their key players.
Well, I think for Harvey Elliott, the key to him is he has to play every week. I think if he goes somewhere and plays every week.
But I think he's good enough, not at a top 8 side, but I think he's good enough to hold down a spot.
Well, yeah, he's going to have to play in the Premier League, obviously.
Yeah. But I'm saying not for one of the top 8 clubs.
No, but I'm saying all he needs to do is go somewhere and play week in, week out. And with his quality, he could force himself in the English
squad. He needs to move, right?
Yeah, you can't sit on the bench.
He needs to move. Drew Kwanzaa?
Yeah, do you know what? I like him, but it just didn't work for him under Slot. And that come from game 1. Because he got dragged at half-time against Ipswich when Delap was just running past him, bullying him. And I remember thinking, oh, no. But, I mean, if he goes to Leverkusen, you know what happens? These young kids are going over to the Bundesliga, going abroad and turn themselves into superstars. So there's no reason why he can't come back. And you look at that position for the England team, everyone's scratching their heads as who's the best pair. We've had Stones and Maguire for so long.
I
think Gurhey's the best. Who's going to play alongside him? It could be Konza, who's brilliant at Villa. He's in the mix.
Last one I got is Jonathan Rowe. Marseille.
See, I can't see him. I just can't.
Why?
I mean, he's at Marseille. He's had a tough time at Marseille. I mean, his upbringing is crazy. Like, his upbringing is mad. I mean, talk about dedication to become a professional footballer. It's there for all to see. I just think, again, too much traffic. But someone who can, because you missed him out, Elliot Anderson.
Okay.
Because he's at Forest and he's playing week in, week out.
Yeah.
So he could definitely get himself in there. He might be the next one in there.
All right, listen, we'll take calls on the above. I just find it a shame that you've got this great group of young kids that obviously they click when they work together, but that will really count for nothing for the senior team, will it?
Would you if some of these guys can get, as many of these can get their sides abroad, because I get it, Harvey Elliott's probably going to want to stay at Liverpool, but they've just bought all these players.
Of course.
Right, but if you can go abroad, because a lot of these players now are going abroad, you play a full season somewhere in the Bundesliga, Serie A, and you do really well.
All of a sudden you smash it.
There's no reason why you can't get yourself in the England squad.
Okay. We'll take calls on all the above. Maybe, listen, you're a Birmingham fan, Ipswich, Liverpool, obviously, or maybe players we've talked about, like Jonathan Rowe, you'd like to see him back over here in the Premier League or even the Championship, and you want to have your say on that. And we'll talk about Lee Carsley. Just how long do you think he could stay as the England under-21 manager? Is he good enough to hold down now a job in the Premier League? Lots to talk about. One number to dial. Pick up the phone. You'll be next. 03717223344. Dial that. You will appear, this is a fact, if you get through, live on Drive after this. Drive and talkSPORT. It's me, Andy Goldstein Bent. It's here, everyone. At Motorpoint, thousands of cars, all unbeatable prices, guaranteed. Head to motorpoint.co.uk for details. Still to come, Bent is going to give us his 5 free agents to keep an eye on this summer. Just quickly, Johnny Evans. Go on, Johnny. Has retired as a player and will take up a role with Man United as their head of loans and pathways. Good luck to Johnny. Now, of course, the first day of Wimbledon's well and truly underway. Let's get an update. Lisa O'Sullivan is watching.
Just watching pictures of backstage as Emma Raducanu leads Mimi Zhu out towards court number 1, where they will be playing for a place in the second round. They know each other quite well because after Raducanu won that US Open title, it was Mimi Zhu who is just 17 years old, who came to be her hitting partner at the National Tennis Centre. A real talent coming through there, and a real treat for those over on court number 1, as there is here on centre court. At the moment, Carlos Alcaraz is leading Fabio Fognini 2-1, but is a break down in the 4th, and is really frustrated with himself. He's overhitting. He's not getting what he wants from this match, but Fabio Fognini is really charming the crowd. So Alcaraz serving 2-4 in this 4th set. Elsewhere, Harriet Dart leads by a set in her first round match. Billie Harris is 2-0 up against Dusan Lajovic of Serbia, and Henry Searle is 1-all with Ethan Quinn of the USA.
Good work as always. Thank you for that, Lisa. Right, we are taking your calls on all things Lee Carsley. In fact, former England captain Stuart Pearce was on the Breakfast Show this morning and was full of praise for Carsley and his management style during their under-21 Euro win.
He stepped into the seniors and filled the breach there. He's lost key players just before the tournament and made no fuss about it. I think his managerial performance and his substitutes he made, everything, has been as good a managerial performance, and Ashley Cole, obviously part of his backroom staff, has been a good managerial performance that I've seen from any manager over the last couple of years. That's my opinion on what he's done.
High praise from Stuart Pearce. What do you make of it? Let's go to the phone lines. Charlie's a Liverpool fan. Hi, Charlie.
Good afternoon, gents. How are you?
We're great. How are you? You enjoying the sunshine?
I am loving it. I was the first-time caller in. I've listened to you both every single day.
Oh, how nice is that? Since when? Day dot, Charlie?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Why is it taking you so long to pick the phone up?
Maybe because you're a United fan, I'm a Liverpool fan, so, you know.
Yeah, I understand that.
There's nothing wrong with that. All right, we're all friends, right? We're all football fans.
100%.
Good,
100%.
good. Well, now you're through, Charlie. It's lovely to speak to you. What would you like to say?
Fine, so just listening to you both about the England under-21s, about the Harvey Elliott thing, and my take on it is I'm a little bit frustrated for Harvey Elliott because him and Wirtz are the same age. Wirtz has played nearly every single game for Leverkusen in the past couple of years. Elliott hasn't had that chance obviously currently at Liverpool. You know, if he were to go abroad and if he were to have played for a Leverkusen, for a Dortmund, you know, for the past couple of years, would he be worth that 160 million we just bought Wirtz in?
Yeah, there's an argument to that, Charlie, because I think technically Harvey Elliott's a very, very good player. But as you said there, he unfortunately for himself, he just hasn't been able to nail down a permanent spot in that Liverpool team. So as much as it would probably pain him to leave a side like Liverpool and a club like that, I think the best thing for him would definitely be to go elsewhere, probably preferably abroad, and play week in, week out, because if he has got aspirations of getting himself in the England squad, that's the only way that's going to happen.
100%, because Wirtz has had that opportunity just to show his skills, whereas Elliott hasn't had it, or had it every so often here or there. And if he does go abroad, my suggestion would be the same as Kwanzaa, to, you know, sell him on, try and get as much money, have a buyback clause, the same as what we got with Kwanzaa. So if Elliott does become such a big player, Liverpool have the opportunity to buy him back a bit more. But yeah, I mean, I agree. Unfortunately, Elliott has to go abroad or either go to a different team, play week in and week out, and try and develop in the best possible way in order to help himself and also England as well.
Charlie, great call. I'm pleased you picked the phone up this time out. Make sure you do it again.
Cheers, boys.
Thanks, Charlie. Charlie, the Liverpool fan. He did use a phrase there which I hear a lot in football. To me, it doesn't mean anything. The buyback clause doesn't for me. It doesn't. It's not worth the paper it's written.
Yeah,
on.
I know what you mean, because if you want to buy back and I don't want to go back to you, I ain't going to you. Simple as that.
It, mate?
Yeah, I understand.
Someone needs to come on and explain it, because there's no argument to be had that it's worth putting in a contract.
Paul Barber, he's the guy. They put the amount of money they make.
Text him.
Shall I mention him?
Yeah, ask Paul if it was come on, just explain the buyback clause.
Right, I mean, he's a bit busy, but...
No, he's not. Nothing's happening. Probably on a yacht somewhere.
João Pedro just on the way.
Huh?
João Pedro. They're looking for the next two.
In the catches.
They're looking for the next two.
Might find one on a buyback clause. Let's go. Peter is a West Ham fan. Hi, Pete.
Hiya, how you doing?
Yeah, you sound very happy.
I am, because I finally got on the show again.
Oh, how nice is it? It's good to have you back. You all right? You well?
I'm all right, as long as you don't kick me off again like you used to.
Why did I kick you off?
You used to do that bar show with Kundi.
Yeah, that bar show.
Do you mean the sports bar?
And you were sat in that bar with all them nice women.
Hello? Hey,
you need to elaborate very quickly.
Just to reiterate, I was not on the sports bar.
What do you mean in the bar? What, the virtual bar?
That's it. Oh, is it really? Oh, I thought it was the real one.
Yeah, I wish it was at times. What would you like to say, Pete?
I think Harvey Elliott should go to West Ham.
Okay, go on. I mentioned that. Why?
I think he'd team up brilliant with Bowen. You've got the likes of Noble there and that, who's obviously on the staff, who can give him some really useful, wise information and that, get him there. And I reckon with him and Bowen and that, they'll finally get picked for the England team and West Ham will win the World Cup again.
How much will he go for?
Sorry?
How much will he go for?
Oh, I reckon a fair couple of quid.
Do you know what? In my head, I had 40 mil for Harvey Elliott.
That's nothing nowadays, is it?
But I had that 40 mil. Seems about reasonable, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. That's not a bad price. Nigel is a Chelsea fan. Hi, Nigel.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Good. Are you all right? You well?
Yeah, very well, actually. Driving in the sunshine. Beautiful day.
Nigel, do you like your name, Nigel?
I love my name, Nigel.
You don't get any baby Nigels anymore, do you?
No, it's a dying breed, unfortunately. But, you know, there you go. We're all the more special because of it.
Who you named after? Anyone famous?
Nope.
Just a
I'm
Nigel.
just like the name.
Just a Nigel. Baby Nigel it was. Go on then, Nigel. What do you want to say?
I just want to say on the Lee Carsley situation, you know, you're talking about, you know, where does he go from here, you know, Premier League and that. My take on the situation would be, why does he need to go anywhere? You know, he's demonstrated, you know, excellence in that role. I mean, you couldn't ask him to do any more, any better. And at the end of the day, I can understand the Premiership thing with, you know, the lure of the money. But the job ain't all about money, is it? And particularly when you're in a development role and you're bringing players through. I mean, there's not, you know, speaking as a level one coach, and it's only with kids, but the kick you get out of bringing players through, seeing them develop, and then, you know, take off and fly in the senior team, that's got to be a real
He's done it.
kick.
Nigel, he's done all the boxes you've mentioned. He's ticked them, every one.
Yeah, but why should we?
Oh, I really want to hear what Nigel had to say. Nigel? Oh, that's annoying.
Do you know what, though? We said that. I understand because it's ambition.
That's exactly what it is,
everybody
ambition.
at some point gets to the point where they get to a level, and even though they feel like they've reached the top of the mountain, they're like, no, there's still more I can achieve.
Like a sports bar, right? Did that for years. Needed to move on.
Exactly.
Now drive.
So what's going to happen after this?
Well, just you see the ratings for breakfast. Won't be too long before they phone.
I think you want that. Yeah.
Huh? Too early, mate. They couldn't afford us.
No, us. They put us in them.
Oh yes, it's us.
I bleed drive.
No. It's us.
No. There's not what us is me a drive.
What about they treble your money?
I love our listeners. Look at him. See, listen to our listeners. See him trying to jump ship.
No, I'm not trying to jump. I said us.
Stop saying us.
Hold on.
I'm staying here.
You say our listeners. Yeah. Why is it called drive?
Because they drive home.
Right. From where?
Work.
So in the morning, where would they be going?
Driving to work.
To work.
No,
So
but I like our guys that drive at home.
Oh no, we've got the best listeners. Don't get me wrong.
But you're trying to jump ship.
No, I'm not jumping ship. I said our. Not mine.
You said
our.
what?
I said our. I said our. Yes, and yours and mine.
Bought a t-shirt yet?
Huh? Bought two. Still to come, we'll have some fun with the rest of talkSPORT. First, it's time for no Googling. We want to know Lee Carsley has become the first England under-21 manager to retain the Euros since... Oh, God.
Sorry.
Hold on, let me ask the question. You can say, since who? Lee Carsley has become the first England under-21 manager to retain the Euros since who? What have you got?
Lee W. Christ, just seen Andy's shirt. Is he selling onions after the show?
No need for it. No need for it. It's like I've got a thick skin. Who's that? Lock him.
I've got absolutely nothing left.
2 more sleeps until the Bazballers step back into the breach for round 2 against India at the ever-exuberant Edgbaston. An unchanged bowling attack means Jofra Archer, though in the squad, will be on the bench. Clearly, Rob Keys listened to talkSPORT and followed the advice of his bestie, Steve Harmison.
I think England have pulled off a little flanker here because you can have a substitute. He can then now go into the game for Sussex against Warwickshire, and I would have him as a substitute and then bring him in for the Lord's Test match.
OK. Thomas Williams is out. Ben White is in for the Lions after the Welshman's first ever try for the touring side resulted in the end of his tour. Gordon Darcy says it was an agonising watch.
Every player, every sports person just went, that's it. It's done. You knew his tour was over.
On day 1 at Wimbledon, delight for British qualifier and Grand Slam debutant Joe Tarver. The 21-year-old world number 719 is into the second round with a straight sets win over Leandro Riedi. Can anyone stop Alcaraz and Sinner from staging another Grand Slam classic in the final?
Look, can you ever count out Djokovic? I'm not too sure. Every time I feel like he's finished kind of thing, he always surprises us. So I think Sinner and Alcaraz are probably the favourites, but Draper and Djokovic would be just behind.
Don't miss Wimbledon Unfiltered with Nick Kyrgios tonight at 7 and every weekday onwards from 8 p.m. on your smart TV.
Andy Goldstein wearing a t-shirt for the very last time. Darren Bent here. Before the break, asked the question. Lee Carsley has become the first England manager under 21 level to retain the Euro since who's the last under 21 manager to do it? I don't think you'd get it even with a clue.
Go and try.
Right, okay. First name is you go to one of these, a late night party, lots of whistles.
Rave.
Yeah. And the last bit of his name is the surname of my favourite player in the world.
Beckham.
Yeah. You get that?
Rave Beckham.
Yeah. 82 and 84.
Rave Beckham.
Don't think you'll get it.
Who's it?
Dave Sexton.
No, I would have got that.
No, tough one. Never mind. More of those in an hour's time. Now, Everton striker Dominic Calvert-Lewin has said that he made the incredibly difficult decision to leave the club with his contract expiring today. He joined Everton from Sheffield United for £1.5 million in 2016, scored 71 goals in 273 games for them. His best season was in 2021 when he scored 16 goals in 33 Premier League games. And that got us thinking, who are some of the other free agents whose clubs should be looking at new players because their contract has expired? Firstly, what do you make of the fact? You made a very good point earlier on that Dominic Calvert-Lewin has made the incredibly difficult decision to leave the club, but his contract expired, so he had to leave, right?
Yeah, it's. I mean, he's effective. That's what I will say. He's effective, but you're right. I just don't see why Everton would renew that contract anyway. I mean, he spends so much time, and it's not. I know it's not his fault with the injuries, but even when you look at his goal return as well, I'm just like, I don't understand. And let me start again, because his goals coming like, he's not. When I say prolific, he's not like he'll score, go on a little run for 2 games, and he might not score, then he'll score again for another 2. It's quite streaky, so he might. A batch of goals will come, and then he won't score for that.
So no consistency.
No consistency. But yeah. I mean, you look at his career. I mean, 3 goals this season just gone. 7 this year before.
And
that.
Injuries though, right? That's his problem.
I get that, but I'm sure I could show you other players with injuries who have a lot of injuries. But Callum Wilson's a prime example. If you look at his numbers, considering, but 3 goals last season, 7 the year before that, 2 the year before that, 5 the year before that. and then he had 2 seasons on the bounce where his goal return was actually okay, 16 and 13. Then before that, 6, 4, 1. I mean, I get it. He's effective. He's good in the air. Like if you get the right service to him, I think he can score goals.
With his talent,
yeah,
is he underachieved?
Well, I mean, if you're a centre forward and your numbers are that, then
yeah, you
have.
That's not good enough, right?
No, of course it's not. So,
but he'll probably be the first to tell you his goal record for his abilities. Goal record's nowhere near what it should be. He'll tell you that.
And he was getting linked with some big clubs as well. So
yeah,
yes, I think he needs a move. But
you'd be good at your club, Arsenal.
No,
why not?
No,
why don't you take him?
No. Because
why not?
Do you want me to give you Carver's numbers instead of his? And Carver's not even a striker. I'll give you Moreno's numbers. No,
you don't want him at your club.
No,
you don't want him.
No. Trust me. Would you take him at your club?
No.
He's better than Rasmus. There you go. See, exactly.
Who'd you rather have?
Out of the 2, at Arsenal, Rasmus.
Would you?
Yeah, of course I would. But no, I think you give him the right service. I think he'll score goals. But I don't think he goes somewhere unless it's maybe a newly promoted side. But even then, I think it's a risk.
Like a Leeds,
right? Yeah, because the amount of money you have to pay him to go there. But he doesn't go somewhere as their first choice. Not in the Premier League.
Oh, it depends.
In the Premier League. Who?
Yeah.
Where?
Where does he go?
Right, do you want me to get the table up for you?
Yeah. Well, Brentford, they're losing players.
Okay, but you still play Visser over him.
Yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Okay, so you got... This is it. No,
who's West Ham's?
West Ham. There. Yeah, full crew. I'd rather full crew.
Yeah, fine, okay.
Right, you've got Bournemouth. He's not going over Evan Nilsson.
Or Clivert.
Arsenal, no. Watkins at Villa, no. Brentford, Visser.
Yeah.
Brighton have lost João Pedro. Welbeck. He's not going ahead of Welbeck.
Okay.
He's not.
Okay, all right.
Burnley. Okay, potentially newly promoted side.
Yeah.
He's not going to Palace. Mateta.
No, definitely not.
No. Fulham. No. They've got Raul Jimenez. He's not going there.
No. Right.
Or they've got Muniz.
Okay, right. Yeah.
Leeds. Okay. Liverpool. No.
Hold on, Leeds. I mentioned Leeds.
Yeah. Liverpool. No.
Why not Liverpool?
City. Nope. United. Nope. Newcastle.
No.
No. Forest. Nope.
Definitely
doesn't
not.
start. Sunderland. Maybe.
Newly promoted.
Yeah. Tottenham. No. West Ham. No. And Wolves. Wolves maybe, but we've got Strand Larsen's better than him.
Yeah.
So I just don't know
Good point.
So I think wherever he goes next.
But he's only young, right? He's like 27, 28.
Okay, 28. He's not young now.
Oh, he's not old. He's not 31, 32.
Mate, he's not 28. It's not like he's just breaking in 22.
No, but what I'm saying is, if he was 31, 32, I can see him either drop him to the Championship, right?
Yeah.
But he's still going to have ambition as a 27. You're in your pomp, aren't you?
We've still got ambition.
No, but you're in your pomp at 27. If you were 27 and you left, where were you at 27? Villa,
Sunderland.
Right. If you left
25.
Right. If you left Sunderland at 27 and you were listening to the radio, and the 2 superstars on the radio, were going through every single team in the Premier League, and you were thinking, I can't get in that team. That's no good.
Yeah, but he'll know that.
No, but what I'm saying is because he's 27, he should be going to a much bigger club in Championship football.
Yeah, but I get that, but sometimes it's not your decision. Like his ambition might be to play for City. It's not going to happen.
Realistically.
Do you know what I mean? So I just don't understand, but I don't think he goes somewhere as first choice.
No,
I think he goes somewhere as backup.
Yeah.
And then maybe compete. Like maybe somewhere like a Forest with Chris Wood, because Chris Wood's getting older. I mean, he's 33, 34.
Spurs? He was linked to Spurs.
Solanke, let's pay 60 million for Solanke.
No, you just said backup.
Okay, they've got Tell. Mateus Tell, they just re-signed him.
Re-signed him, yeah.
So,
okay, fine.
You know what I mean?
Well, I've got a list in front of me of other players that are now free agents, right? And who they're leaving. So I've got someone you're devastated with, Thomas Partey.
Got it.
Why are you not re-signing him?
But I think there's a breakdown in terms of wages. I think they want him to come down. He doesn't, which is fair enough. But I think
big loss.
Big loss. Not
who you replacing him with?
We've got Zubimendi coming in.
Mate. Every day you keep mentioning it.
I just seen it landed in London.
No. You said that last week. He was having a medical last week. No, he's not even here yet.
Medical. Then he went Mayfair. So it's just a bit of food.
Yeah, he played Monopoly, was he?
Now he's just...
Bit of food?
Yeah, he just... but no, he's landed today.
No, he hasn't landed today. You've made that up.
I'll show you.
Where'd you get that from?
Fabrizio, I'll show you in a minute.
Absolutely.
He DM'd me, I told you, I'll show you in a minute. But no, listen.
Zubimendi ain't coming.
Partey is coming. Partey, I'm gutted about. I love Thomas Partey, but...
Had a bit of food.
Yeah, Thomas Partey, but he's got to go, so...
Okay. I'm just looking at other big names in it. Jamie Vardy, I'm sure he that was announced, but it's not announced, right? That was just something I thought he'd done. He's a free agent. He's nowhere at the moment.
He's done, no. But again, where do you... See, I'd rather him than Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah,
I know you're getting with him.
Yeah.
But do you know who's an interesting one in here? I like Walker Peters.
Yeah.
Because he's been good for Southampton for a number of years now, and he's been loyal, going down and coming back up. But I think that's a good one as well.
Ericsson, his days are done, aren't they?
I think he'll go abroad, and he'll probably go to Saudi somewhere.
Willian,
like that. He's got.
He had a little rise of form, didn't he?
Yeah, he's got still a little bit left in the tank, but again, I can see him going abroad as well.
Just a go.
I like Decore.
Yeah. Abdoulaye Decore.
Yeah, good player, gets into the box, good legs on him, good engine as well. I'm quite shocked, to be fair, that he's leaving on the free. But I get it. If you're going to,
sorry, have you done a Bentley's top 5 free transfers this summer list?
No, you just done it. You just.
Well, there's more than 5 there. You got to put them in order.
What, of the ones that's on that list?
Yeah, you meant that's your homework for today's show. Have you done it?
Okay, here we go.
What do you mean? Here we go. Have you not done it, Jack? Have you got number 5? Have you got that? You got that ready? This is a big part of our meeting this morning.
It was
number 5.
Okay, number 5. I'm going to go.
What do you mean I'm going to go? You've done it already.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking in my head.
Oh right, you're thinking in your head. Okay.
Number 5. Free transfers. I'm going to go with.
So you haven't done it yet.
Jamie Vardy at 5.
Okay.
Just because I think he's still got a role to play. When you look at him play, he's still sharp.
He's 10 years older than Calvert-Lewin, and you'd have him.
Because he's still.
I'm just saying, that's nuts.
He's got 20. Not 20
but
goals.
That's nuts, isn't it?
It's not really, is it?
Oh, it is, mate.
No, it's common sense.
Knocking on the door of 40 or 27.
Could you want someone who's doing it or not?
Yeah, no, fine, okay.
So there you go.
Attitude problem. See if that continues.
Number 4.
I'm going to go with Carl Walker-Peters.
I know number 1 is. You're so. It's only Thomas Partey.
Yeah, you might as well go to. Yeah, Jack, press number 1.
Press number 1.
Number 1.
Yeah, Thomas Partey. But he's still got a role to play.
You're devastated, aren't you?
You're gutted.
So he's gone. So far, Kepa's come in.
Yeah.
And Norgard's coming in.
Yeah, makes sense.
You're really pushing for that title this year, aren't you?
Do you know, I've got
really pushing, aren't you?
I've got a list of contract here, like players that are out of contract as well. There's quite a few. I think Nelson Semedo's another one, good player. Callum Wilson, they're saying, is up as well. He's a good one.
But what's his injury record
but I'd
like?
rather him as backup than Calvert-Lewin.
Okay, well they're both injured more than they should be, right?
Yeah, so there's a few. I think Michael Keane's up at Everton as well.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so. Another one as well. So there's a fair few.
Didn't really happen for him at Everton, did it?
Do you say that? But
he didn't. I know he scored some great goals.
Some bangers, didn't he?
Yeah, he shouldn't from his position, but I don't think the fans loved him as much as.
I think he had a tough time though.
He did really have a tough time.
He has a tough time. I mean, he played for England.
Yeah. How old is he now, Michael Keane?
Michael Keane, by my
Go on, what's your guess?
reckoning.
What's your guess?
Michael Keane, I would probably say is about 32.
Okay.
He is.
He obviously looked.
32.
There you go, he looked. Still to come on Drive. Well, here's some of Ben Fletcher's favourite things.
Barbecues, babes, inflatables.
We'll also look ahead to Man City against Al Hilal. It's live on talkSPORT at 2 a.m.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning. It's presented by Paul Ross.
That's never been said before. And we'll discuss Wimbledon. Getting rid of line judges?
You cannot be serious!
Well, we can, John. All that and so much more come at the last hour drive on talkSPORT. Me, Goldstein, him, Bent, when we come out, my favourite part of any show ever. The best of talkSPORT. This is Drive talkSPORT. Me, Andy Goldstein, the dancer, Darren Bent, Motorpoint, new car, same day driveway. Available on all cars. Book a test drive today. Still to come, we'll be asking where we expect technology to take over in sport. Just quickly, Johnny Evans has retired as a player. Will take up a role with Man United as their head of loans and pathways. In rugby, we talked about this earlier on, scrum half Thomas Williams will fly home from the British and Irish Lions tour with a serious ending injury. We wish him all the very best with that. Now, before some fun with the best of talkSPORT, the first day of Wimbledon well and truly underway, let's get more from Lisa O'Sullivan.
Well, in the Battle of the Brits at the moment, Emma Raducanu is 3-1 up on Mimi Zhu over on court number 1. We have seen Billy Harris book his place in round 2 with a straight sets win over Dusa Lajovic. On the centre court here, the crowd have been treated to a real feast. Fabio Fognini taking on Carlos Alcaraz, 7-5, 6-7, 7-5, 2-6. The score there. 3-love is where Alcaraz is currently leading. I'm just not quite sure what's going. He's having a little chat to see. I think somebody else. Right, we're going to have a pause in play. The heat has got to somebody in the crowd. We've had quite some empty seats over in that direction, and Carlos Alcaraz was just going over to check that the member of the public was okay. So we'll resume in a moment with that match. But the winner of this, as Carlos Alcaraz takes one of his own water bottles over to the crowd, the winner of this will play Britain's Oliver Tarvett, who has to be the story of the day, despite a brilliant win by Arthur Ferry earlier. He has banked himself £99,000, but he can't touch it because he's an amateur player. So he says by December he needs to know that he needs to be able to show that he's made find a way to lose basically £60,000 or £70,000 in expenses so that he can keep the money, because as an amateur player he's not allowed to take the funds. So play has been suspended on centre court for the moment while a member of the public gets some treatment.
Well, we wish him well, whoever that young man or young lady is. Right, time now for this. Yeah, time for the best of talkSPORT and friends. We run you through some of the recent highlight moments from across talkSPORT and our sister stations. Let's start off with weekend overnights with our very own Ben Brent Fletcher. Here he's giving some profound reflections on Glastonbury's festival.
Against track. Back in the glory years, barbecues, babes, inflatables, and by that I mean furniture, nothing sorted. It was during what is a family slot.
It's all coming out now.
But put them all together, and it just makes me feel really uncomfortable.
Yeah, I know the feeling. How do you think Fletcher would get on in the heat of Glastonbury?
All right, I guess. I mean, yeah, fine, I think.
Oh, okay.
I'm not quite sure what else was going on.
Did you watch Glastonbury yesterday?
No.
Why not?
I don't really like Glastonbury.
All right. On BBC 4, they showed another stage, which was Prodigy.
Yeah, the main guy's not there, though, is he? God rest his soul.
He's not the main guy. Liam's the main guy, but I know what you mean. Yeah, Keith, yeah. He's not, I know, yeah, Sally Park, but still, my goodness, they are unbelievable. What's the best thing about the summer?
Barbecues.
You have one this weekend?
I didn't. Yeah, I went to one, but you know when you walk, you either have one or you drive in and you've got the window down, you smell it from somewhere. Yeah, barbecue, man.
Do you like gas or old school coal?
I'm gas. I'm lazy.
Okay. Who's someone at talkSPORT you'd never share a tent with?
Who would I never share a tent with?
What about on the team? Drive team.
Drive team. Jack's grinning. Probably Jack. I'd say.
You want to share with Jack?
No.
He'd be just weird. Be doing stuff. Is that noise, Jack? So that sounded wrong. If you like that, Fletch will be back on the bulletins tomorrow afternoon. How about that for a plug?
Onto this morning's White and Jordan show, where Simon's made a big realisation.
You know what I've just realised? Go on. After all this time, listen to the introduction, you know, the billing of the Colosseum and confrontation, all that load of old pony, right? That's the guy from The Office, isn't it? It's Finchy from The Office who does that voice, isn't it? It really is, isn't it? It is. After all this listening today, suddenly dawned upon me, I had this epiphany.
It's only taken you, 5-6 years to realise that?
Besides Drive, which show is the best opening?
Sports Bar. Because I made that. I made that.
Right.
That, ladies and gentlemen.
You didn't make it. I heard it before. It was on the Sports Bar.
No, I made it. It wasn't. No. I made it.
Okay, but the ladies and gentlemen, that's old.
So I found that. That's from a.
So you didn't make that part?
No, but I put them together. right? I made the edit, and so I got that. That's the beginning of...
Is it Oasis song?
No, the Oasis song is...
So that's
song.
not yours either.
Right, can I finish the sentence?
So you've taken bits and stuck them
but
together.
I'm saying I've made the two together, right? So the Oasis song is Something in the Bushes, which is a rude word I'm not going to say. But the ladies and gentlemen fight fans, that's at the beginning of a rap song that I found.
Okay, so you didn't invent any of it.
Nothing's invented, is it?
No, because you stuck it together.
Yeah, but I made it.
Right,
what have you made? Apart from a mess of the airwaves.
Which character? Hey, talk about a mess, that T-shirt, mate.
I know, it needs to go off, doesn't it?
Which character?
I can't take it off till 9. That's when my shift finishes at Pizza Hut.
Which character or celebrity should we add to the drive opener?
What do you mean?
It just says what's character.
I mean, who's written this? Jack, literally, I'll tell you how Jack writes these, right? He puts a load of words in a bag. He then chucks the bag on the floor and just picks up random words and puts them together in a sentence.
Which character or celebrity should we?
Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean.
No, like in the opener, you get like a little voice or something.
No,
I wouldn't mind a little Maximus.
What voice do we get in the opener of Drive?
No,
nothing.
Okay. What's something you took too far? Sorry. What's something it took you far too long to realise? His face looking at Jack.
Just something to do with Jack's ability to press buttons.
Jim and Simon are back tomorrow at 10, and they'll be joined by the former Rangers chairman David Murray and boxing world champ Paulie Malignaggi,
yeah. Now at 2 a.m. tomorrow morning, the wonderful Paul Ross will be bringing you live and exclusive commentary of Man City against Al Hilal in the Club World Cup. Here's a clip from last week of Paul Hawksbee and Charlie Baker giving Paul's hosting abilities a big plug.
It says it's 2 o'clock in the morning. It's presented by Paul Ross. So Paul's the man I often turn to when I want an expert take on Tunisian League football.
Do you not know he knows all about the Tunisian
I tell you
League?
what, it'd be worth tuning in just for him and Kane. Him and Kane tonight explaining the intricacies of the Tunisian League.
Very nice.
Bit harsh, isn't it? A bit harsh from Hawksbee. Do you think it'd been a bit too harsh on Paul Ross?
No. Listen, them guys know him better than we do, so yeah, if Paul says it's fine, then yeah.
Could you ever work on overnights?
Yeah.
I don't think you could.
I need a fortune to do it.
I'll tell you a funny story, I've got time. When there was a World Cup on, I can't remember what World Cup, but it was when Colin Murray used to do 10 a.m. mid-morning.
Yeah.
They asked me and Cundy if we would, because the games for the World Cup were on when Sports Bar was on, we were missing shifts for like 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
So the head of programmes said at the time, do you and Cundy, because you're going to miss your shows, want to do overnights? Right? And you come on after the game's finished, so we come on at like 1:30.
Yeah.
And I had a long chat with Cundy, and I'm like, I think it'd kill me. 5 hours would kill me overnight. No, it'd be fine. Okay, so we agreed to do 2.5 weeks of overnights.
Yeah.
Right, 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. After the second day we did it, Colin Murray was ill and couldn't do a show for 2 weeks. And they phoned me out and go, do you want to do Colin's show for 2 weeks? And I went, yeah. And so I left Cundy after one show, and Cundy had to do it. I think, who did he do it with? With Mike Parry did it for 2 weeks.
Wow.
I think he lost.
Did he jump
the plot.
ship?
Yeah,
Shock.
big time. Which team in the Club World Cup has the best kit?
I mean, the obvious one is Real Madrid. That all white's beautiful. But I did like River Plate with the red stripe going across the middle.
Right.
And also was what I liked, Flamingo. Fluminense with the green, I think it's the burgundy red, like stripes.
You like that?
Kit. Yeah.
You bought any tops since watching it?
No.
You know, sometimes you watch it, go, I like that, I buy it.
No.
No, okay, fine. Don't forget, talkSPORT Network is bringing you live commentary of both of the Club World Cup and the Women's Euros. So don't forget to download the talkSPORT app where you can swipe between talkSPORT and talkSPORT 2 and all of our other sister stations so you never miss a moment. When we come back, we're talking about line judges or the lack of them at Wimbledon. Is it good or bad for a sport that we're being taken over by computers? 03717 22 3344.
As UEFA refuse to make a decision for themselves, Crystal Palace's Europa League multi-club ownership saga rumbles on. They're waiting for the result of Lyon's appeal against relegation from Ligue 1 over poor finances. This is all despite the fact that US owner John Textor has sold his Palace shares and is stepping down from Lyon, but he missed UEFA's March deadline to do so. Here's our European expert, Andy Brassel.
Now, we know there's already an agreement between UEFA and Lyon that they can participate in the Europa League if they're allowed to stay up. The more distance that Lyon and Palace can get away from John Textor, the better it looks for both of them.
2 more sleeps until the Bazballers step back into the breach for round 2 against India at the ever-exuberant Edgbaston. An unchanged bowling attack means Jofra Archer, though in the squad, will be on the bench. Clearly, Rob Keys listened to talkSPORT and followed the advice of his bestie, Steve Harmison.
I think England have pulled off a little flanker here because you can have a substitute. So once he's released from England, he can then now go into the game for Sussex against Warwickshire, and I would have him as a substitute and then bring him in for the Lord's Test match.
OK. Thomas Williams is out. Ben White is in for the Lions after the Welshman's first ever try for the touring side resulted in the end of his tour. Gordon Darcy says it was an agonising watch.
As soon as he scored that try and grabbed his hamstring, every player, every sports person just went, that's it. It's done. You knew his tour was over.
On day 1 at Wimbledon, delight for British qualifier and Grand Slam debutant Joe Tarver. The 21-year-old, world number 719, is into the second round with a straight sets win over Leandro Riedi. Can anyone stop Alcaraz and Sinner from staging another Grand Slam classic in the final?
Look, can you ever count out Djokovic? I'm not too sure. Every time I feel like he's finished kind of thing, he always surprises us. So I think Sinner and Alcaraz are probably the favourites, but Draper and Djokovic would be just behind.
Don't miss Wimbledon Unfiltered with Nick Kyrgios tonight at 7 and every weekday onwards from 8 p.m. on your smart TV.
Welcome back to the last hour drive on talkSPORT. Where's those 2 hours gone with me, Andy Goldstein? Darren's here, everyone.
Clever and funny. I bloody hate him. That's why we get on, I think.
Still to come, we'll be bringing you the very latest transfer rumours in Drives Car Boot Sale. But a reminder, the British and Irish Lions action continues to come thick and fast as they face the Queensland Reds in Brisbane this Wednesday. And of course, it's a game you can hear live on talkSPORT 2.
The Lions are down under 12 years on from a famous victory. How will Andy Farrell's men fare in 2025? We are about to find out.
Brilliant ball back inside, and Dan Sheehan, the Lions captain, first try of the night.
We want to play a good brand of rugby. It's about building those connections between us.
Oh, it's got it back and he's barreling his way forward. Up and over the 22. Keeps going. 5 metres out. Can he get the upload away? Yes, he can.
It's a brilliant indication of just how good a talent Henry Pollock is.
Happy with how we actually got to that point because it wasn't all going our own way.
Of course, we're an athletic team and they challenged us accordingly.
Hits Crossfield. Lockie Anderson. He's got 4, baby.
or world-class international team. To beat them and to beat them at home, it'd be awesome for our fans.
The Lions will raise their bat on a 50 in Western Australia.
They're coming thick and fast. We've got the midweek game that keeps everyone on point and fighting for those test spots.
Not long to wait now. The British and Irish Lions, their tour down under continues on Wednesday. They face Queensland Reds over on talkSPORT to 11 a.m. And remember that on non-match days, you can also hear a dedicated Lions show every morning from 11 over on talkSPORT 2. That's also available as a podcast, I'll have you know. We'll also, on top of that, bring you live commentary of all 3 test matches. And talkSPORT is the only place on national radio where you can follow all of the Lions action. Now, Wimbledon is well and truly underway, and for the first time ever, there are no line judges. They have instead been replaced by AI-powered technology, bringing a 148-year-old tradition to an end. So that got us thinking, where else would we like to see technology take over in sport in the coming years, or where else could we see it? And do we want it? Darren, 148 years of tradition gone because of a robot.
We didn't do that with the roof.
What?
Then I did that with the roof at Wimbledon at one point.
Well, it's hardly tradition.
Well, what's tradition? There was no roof, and then all of a sudden it was
that's not tradition, is it?
Okay, but they changed what had come before them.
Yes.
Right, so...
But they're always changing in sport. But getting rid of line judges is massive.
Yeah, it is, but they feel like potentially they don't need it. But I think at times, and I guess it is moving with the times, but I do like when... I like when sport evolves, but not too much. Technology with the balls, with the rackets... Things like that. That's
fine.
That's nice.
I agree
that's
with
fine.
that. Yeah.
But when you start talking about, because you talk about people's jobs, basically taking away people's jobs, people that have been doing that for years, their families before them.
Yeah.
It's a sad state of affairs, but unfortunately, it's just one of those things that it's the way the world's going now. From a football aspect, we're now seeing technology coming with the. First of all, it was a goal line technology. Now we're obviously automated offsides. You're going to have VAR as well. I know that's still human interpretation because they're the one making the decision, but technology is coming more and more into sport, and listen, it's not going to stop anytime soon. At one point, if it continues, linesmen, I think in football, linesmen will be the next thing to go.
Well, when we have automated offsides, the only thing you need a linesman for is to put his flag up to tell you which way the ball's going for a throw-in.
Exactly, right. So, but eventually I think they'll go.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then the very last part, you think maybe potentially with the VAR and the technology might be the ref. But
the ref could go.
That's sometime down the line, but unfortunately, again, it's tradition.
I'm not a fan of it. I think we need to keep tradition. So, with the line judges, right, they make mistakes. Like, out, and it clearly wasn't. I review it then, right? The reviews are gone for a start. I used to like the reviews.
Hawkeye, is that gone?
Yeah, you can't review anymore because you can't question.
Oh, because of the
it's a computer.
Yeah, but I used to love Hawkeye.
Yeah, it's great, wasn't it? And everyone clapping like that as the ball's coming over.
Just dropping it, go like half a millimetre in the line.
Don't see that anymore. You can't. No challenges, right? But also, John McEnroe, famous for "You cannot be serious." That because someone called it out when he thought it was in. The smoke of a dust of smoke went up. Smoke of dust of smoke. Anyway, went up, and he was like screaming, "You cannot be serious." We lose all that. All that goes.
All personality goes, doesn't it? Because there's no. But again,
literally, because we're taking over by robots.
Well, they're trying to obviously clean up the sport and clear it up.
Do you want it?
No, sport for me is perfectly fine. I like a bit of personality. I like a bit of attitude. One thing about Nick Kyrgios, who's obviously part of the talkSPORT team.
Yeah.
When he used to play, I knew fireworks were coming.
Yeah.
Loved it. So
accidentally he'd serve and it would smash some old fella in the face.
Yeah, but
who was on line duty. He'd fall over. It'd be quite funny.
Yeah, so
he'd be fine though. There'd be nothing wrong with
him. As well, I also like the camaraderie between like sometimes not the line judges actually, because the ones who give you the balls, they're still there. The
ball boys.
Yeah, that's
ball girls.
But eventually they're going to go.
So they can't go.
Mate, they will find some kind of technology to collect balls and.
No, they won't.
All right.
Because it hits the net. How are you going to get? Who's going to pick them up?
They'll be sank on the bottom of the net that goes scoops it up.
Yeah, they probably will, won't they? Do
you know what I mean?
A scooper. Remember that? There'll be like generations in front of us going like, do you know, when I was a kid, when I was your age, there would be humans who'd run and get the ball.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Yeah,
humans on the court.
Yeah. Well, while the tennis game's going on.
So we've got umpires, right?
Yeah.
Umpires sit on a big old chair.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be gone soon.
Yeah. So it's
only that. Someone could sit in a little studio. 40 laugh. They don't need to be there.
No. But to be fair, I just think it is taking away a little bit of personality from Wimbledon because it's such a great sporting event. I mean, the tickets are a bit expensive, but you know.
Still no one contacted you. I'll get you tickets.
That's another thing.
I'll sort you out. I'll get you in.
But yeah, it's sad. It's sad. When it's a big thing, small changes are fine. But when you start noticing big things like line judges, that's when you go,
Why have they done it? Saving money. Is that the only reason?
Yeah, they obviously feel it's more efficient.
Well, it is. It's perfect. But do we want... Okay, it's another question. Do we want perfection in sport? Do you want that? Do you want a sport where it's literally every single decision you can't argue with?
I wouldn't mind it, but the big thing about that though is that you lose personality.
Don't you lose?
You lose a bit of that passion, because
that's the passion.
The fans' passion is what makes a lot of sports.
Yeah.
And when you start taking that away, where there's no controversy, fans will just be like, "Oh, all right, brilliant."
Where else can we see technology take over in sport? What do you have in basketball? You have an on-field ref.
Yeah,
just one.
No, it's not one. There's a few.
What? On the field at the same time?
Yeah, but there's a few dotted around the court.
All right. Can you get rid of them?
I mean, I've not watched basketball for a long time.
NFL though. How many refs you got on the pitch?
There's a few, because you got quite a few. Jesus. The reason why you got a few, you need it though for different calls.
What do you mean?
So like, if there might be holding, like where the defensive player's holding the attacking player, or vice versa.
Yeah.
There might be someone who jumped the line of scrimmage. There's so many different things going on, and they throw a flag. So when they've seen something that's wrong, they throw a flag, and you can challenge it, but that's how you get fouls.
So you need that.
So you'll have to play. Quarterback will do what he's doing. He throws it. The receiver catches it.
Yeah.
If there's something that's gone on, one of the referees will throw a flag, which means something's happened.
So you need them there.
You need them there, yeah, 100%.
Right. Okay. I'm just thinking where else we wouldn't need it. In F1, there's no judges, is there?
Athletics 100-meter sprint. Rather than a geezer with a gun, you just hear the AI.
I don't think you have a gun anymore, do you?
Or whatever they've got there.
Do you have a gun?
I think so. Well, it's not obviously
No, I know it's not a real gun.
Not a Magnum, but you know.
No, I know that, but is it a gun or is it just a...
but he's got it in his hand.
What, you still think the fella's there, do you?
Yeah, of course he's there. I see him.
I don't think he's there anymore, mate.
The guy's still there.
I bet the guy's not there.
What, it's a 100-meter sprint? I can show you on the Athletics website. The guy's still there.
Yeah. You telling me it's a human person...
Yep.
Right? That has a gun in his hand, puts it up to the sky and pulls the trigger. You still think... You don't need to look now. You still think that exists, do you?
No, I know it exists. World Athletics, let's go.
No, you can do it. Why don't you do it in the break that's coming up, Benny?
100 metres. Yeah, okay, we'll do it in the break.
So can I ask, is that fella there for every single racing event?
Yeah, of course. They need someone like the umpire. The guy's
not an umpire. But like what, 100, 200, 400, 800, 1500?
They're all there. They are all there.
What, even for the start of the marathon?
You need someone to say go.
Yeah, well, why does he just say go then?
No.
I'm sure it's that now.
No, it's not.
No, we'll have it.
Right.
What about here at talkSPORT? If you got rid of Jack, just like a computer knew when I took a break, like if I took a pause like this, the computer would realise that that's the break and it'd go to a break.
No.
Do we need... Okay, my question is, do we need someone like Jack?
You do need Jack. Do you know why?
Why do we need Jack?
Because Jack feels the show. So, like, if we say something, or you say something a bit silly, then Jack will then find a bit of audio and drop it in there.
Yeah, but that's Jack's...
This is talkSPORT Drive.
Right, I don't know why he's done that. Right, but then the computer wouldn't do that.
No, but
the computer AI within a millisecond would look for all the algorithms of what that makes fun, and then find that, and it would 100% would be the right thing. No, Jack just underlined the point why he shouldn't be here.
No,
he just pressed the wrong button.
No, but it's a bit feeling. I like the way Jack feels it.
No,
at that time, Jack felt that was right.
Right, Jack, press a button right now. Right, your next button to just give feeling to the show. Right, whatever you press now, we'll see how good you are. Go.
Yeah, I love Andy.
Oh, no, see? Yeah. Jack, see?
Jack, you're a good boy, Jack.
You're trying to replace
Darren's a great lad as well.
You're trying to replace... See, Jack feels it.
Jack, you can stay, all right? There ain't no Metal Mickey that's getting your gig.
Do you know what I feel like? You could go.
I couldn't go.
Yeah.
No.
I bring the...
I'm probably the last thing on the planet that survives.
Because we'll be able to...
What are you going to do?
I will talk about the football. The substance.
Who too?
All I need is a guy. All I need is AI over there just going right. Up next, we're talking about rot.
Sorry, you're the AI replacement.
No, that's you.
No, you need some of a bit of personality in the show.
No.
Imagine if it's just you.
No. Me and AI,
Superman and Star Trek.
Me and AI, when they're asking me questions about what's it like to be in this certain scenario, scoring a goal or whatever, I can do that. You over there, all we need is AI over there going. Coming up next, we are talking about Calvert-Lewin, and he's on a free.
This is what you do. I'll tell you how old he is. He's hold on. He's 27. That's what you do.
All that's AI will dress better than you as well. So they'll put in their little algorithms and go shirt not to wear.
Right. Well, if there was AI in there, at least one of them out of you two would have intelligence.
No,
and it wouldn't be artificial.
So that'll be you next.
No, we'll be there. I'll be the last thing that go.
I'll probably get a message from the boss giving it. Yeah, Andy's gone soon. Probably.
To breakfast to bring the numbers back.
See, listeners, you heard that. He's desperate to go to. See,
mate,
you ain't one of us.
I ain't getting up.
Traitor, innit?
I ain't getting up at 4 a.m. for no one. Unless the money's right, obviously. Right, 03717223334. Do we need computers and technology taking over?
Reece Merritt could replace Goldstein with Condi, let alone a robot.
Who's that from?
Reece. Or Rise, his name is, I think.
Oh, yeah, see? AI would get his name right.
Hey, Condi. He's right, though.
Can't afford coffee. 03717223334. Can we see technology taking over in sport in the coming years? This is Drive and Talk Sport with me, Andy Goldstein, and AI himself over there, Darren Bent. Actually, it's just A, there's no intelligence. And Motorpoint, thousands of cars, all unbeatable prices, guaranteed. Head to motorpoint.co.uk for details. A reminder that Talk Sport is now, excuse me, is now available in more places than ever before. You can watch us via your smart TV. Just head to talksport.com/watch for all details, and you can watch all your favourite shows and presenters, plus some of our brand new content. Still to come, we'll be bringing you.
Get AI.
You know what that is? I'll tell you exactly what it is. I'll tell you that.
That's because you say to you.
Yeah.
Look at the stuff. See, AI have nose problems. You're sneezing and all that nonsense.
Where was the sneeze?
No, but usually.
I'll tell you what that
last
was.
Week.
That was partly your fault.
Yeah,
right. Because you bought me a Snickers bar.
Yeah.
And I wolfed it down, and the Snickers bar's got peanuts in it. And golden rule, you should never have peanuts when you're broadcasting.
I didn't shove it in your mouth, did I?
Excuse me, that was just turned on then. Still coming, bring you the latest transfer rumours in Drives Car Boots out. Just quickly, Aston Villa have agreed to a deal to sell their women's team to their parent company V Sport for a fee in the region of £55 million. That doesn't smell right. Right, the first day of Wimbledon is nearly done, sort of, and we've probably got about another 4 hours, so it's not really done at all. There's lots happening, though. Lisa O'Sullivan can tell us more.
Carlos Alcaraz is done, finally booking his place in the second round. 7-5, 6-7, 7-5, 2-6, 6-1 against Fabio Fognini, that this centre court crowd have taken to their heart. It has been beautiful tennis, and Carlos Alcaraz does so much, so well. At the end, when he should have been taking the applause, he was just pointing at the Italian, the 38-year-old, absolutely exhausted after a mammoth 4 hours and 35 minutes against the two-time champion, looking for a three-peat this time at Wimbledon. Over on court number 1, Emma Raducanu has got the upper hand against Mimi Zhu. Her compatriot Raducanu is leading 6-3, 1-love.
Good work as always, Lisa O'Sullivan, Ronnie's mum. Right, time now to look ahead to this week's action in Switzerland with McDonald's.
UEFA Women's Euro 2025 update on talkSPORT with McDonald's. Got Big McDonald's hunger? The new Big Arch is here. Available from 11 a.m. at participating restaurants.
And the European Championships get underway. Right footed drive, hits the post, comes off the goalkeeper and in. Spectacular hit from Diani.
Cuts back onto her right foot and finds the net. Vivian Miedema.
An opportunities around the goalkeeper, and it's in from Bob Marty.
Hooks up the cross, and the header is in from Harder.
Into the penalty area. Gonzalez with the shot, past the goalkeeper and in. A lovely move by Spain.
His ball has fallen for Hegerberg in the penalty area. Plays it square. Frida Marnham taps it in. 2 goals in quick succession for Norway.
And Eva Pyle there to gleefully tap home from inside the 6-yard box. So Wales, for the first time in their history, have qualified for a major tournament. Rissing Canarid from the angle with the shot, and it flashes into the back of the net.
Opportunity for Russo inside the penalty area. Finds the corner. Alessia Russo for England.
Oh yeah, the Women's Euros gets underway later this week, and of course the talkSPORT network have got you covered. Host Switzerland get their campaign underway against Norway. That one's live on talkSPORT at 8 p.m. And then of course England kick off against France. Oh, tough game, tough group actually. That's at the same time on Saturday evening, as well as France and England are in a group with the Netherlands and Wales. The talkSPORT network brings you live commentary of every single England and Wales game. Bentley, listen, you're covering it for talkSPORT, right? You're doing phone-ins, a few phone-ins as well. You're doing commentary on it?
No comment.
Okay, just in phone-ins. England finished their preparations for the tournament with a 7-0 win against Jamaica. That was yesterday. Should we be warming up against slightly stronger opposition? Because the group's going to be tough, right? Do you want easy games going in, or do you want tough ones where you're tested?
Well, again, it's one of those where, like, I know Jamaica's run before that, I mean, was absolutely appalling. I think they'd lost maybe 10 on the bounce. So you're going in against a side that got beat 7-0 by England, 4-0 against USA, 3-0 France, Brazil before that. I mean, you talk about top level opposition, but listen, there's always that argument. We always have the argument, don't we, about the men's team. Are they undercooked when they get to the major championships because they've been playing lesser opposition? But I'm a firm believer that, like, winning breeds confidence, regardless who you're playing against. Again, I used to like scoring goals in pre-season against the lesser sides, because by the time game one come, I'm full of confidence. I know what it feels like to hit the back of the net.
Can I ask, if you were playing for a club or country, it's irrelevant, right?
Yeah.
Would you rather take on a team who are awful, the last game of pre-season, right? So the next game is the first game of the season.
Rather than the showpiece.
What?
Rather than the showpiece.
No. Would you rather play a team who are useless and you score 9 goals?
Yeah.
You literally smash them in for... Or you play a tough team, really good defensive unit there.
As I just said to you, the showpiece.
It's 0-0.
The showpiece is always the best team you play before the first game of the Premier League season.
What would you... Personally, you...
Give me the hard game.
Really?
Yeah, get me battle tested. Let's go. Yeah, because you played the lesser sides earlier on in pre-season, you smashed them all over the place. Do you know what I mean? But you obviously, as you step up your fitness level and the tactics side of the game, step up, and then you obviously that last game, that showpiece game before the last game, that showpiece game before the Premier League starts the following season is the one where you play the so-called best opposition. So I always used to like to do that, like play against the better teams, like the last game before the Premier League starts, and then obviously away we go. But no, for England, I think, their preparation has been decent, but they are in a tough group, man. I mean, you look at the group they're in with France and Netherlands and Wales, and you go, oh my goodness. So, but no, England have got to use the confidence of winning the last Euros before. We saw what happened at Wembley, Chloe Kelly with a goal. but it's going to be difficult. I wouldn't say, I know I've listened to quite a few people speak about where this England team is now compared to then. And back then, I think the biggest thing I've taken away from certainly some of the people I've heard speak is that back then there was no expectation. No one thought they were going to rock up and win it. Now all of a sudden, all the pressure, they're defending champions. Can they go back to back?
Okay. More chat on that, of course, throughout the week. That was all thanks to our friends at McDonald's.
UEFA Women's Euro 2025 update on talkSPORT with McDonald's. Got Big McDonald's hunger? The new Big Arch is here. Available from 11 a.m. at participating restaurants.
Now we're taking your calls. Could a computer do a job as good as Benty? Ryan is a Southampton fan. Hi, Ryan.
How you doing, lads? You all good?
Great. How are you today?
Oh, I'm all right. I'm a bit cooked. It's a bit hot.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's all right. I'm not moaning. I'm grafting.
You sound like you're moaning. Ryan, could a computer do your job?
No, I think I'm going to be the last trade to go. I don't think a decorating robot is really that good for cost effectiveness.
You say that. I mean, I've seen that on the internet that you get robots that can paint.
Yeah. Well, I suppose, but to stand one in a room and make it cost effective on a domestic basis, I'll probably do all right until I retire in about 18 years' time.
Okay.
I think I'll be all right for that one.
Okay.
I think a plumbing robot and an electric robot's coming first.
A plumbing robot? Will he just stand around for like 20 minutes, the robot, looking at it going, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you.
You don't want to see a plumbing robot bend over, I know that.
Okay, I don't know. It's a family show, all right? Right.
Oh, sorry.
Ryan, what would you like to say? What's your views on getting rid of line judges, etc.?
Right, my view is I am the Southampton season ticket holder, remember, that ditched it for the Premier League and now I've bought it back again for the Championship. I can't wait to have some spontaneity back to it. So, but I feel that it's more of a it'd be harder for humans to relate in future more and more and more as it goes on throughout the generations to a sport that has no involvement or sort of that they can relate to, in the sense of like a human can make a mistake, so therefore on sporting field can make a mistake, or then therefore the achievement of greatness is only there because the people watching it can't achieve it themselves. You know, so the sort of the allure is that there's something mysterious there that is still achievable in the human element. And I feel that having computers and everything sort of just running the whole show will just take the mystery away from it and won't make it as relatable. And I think that's happening with everything. Music, you've seen it happen with that. There's been a massive decline. I mean, I love digital music. I grew up in it. I'm a 90s baby. But the fact of the matter is since the 60s, it's been going downhill, like, you know, sort of instrument-wise and inclusion and skills and everything. So I just feel that it's going to happen with sports scene. Yeah. Skills will come down, people will be more comfortable, there'll be less determination, and it won't be as relatable as, as a sort of humanistic story, if that makes sense.
Right, it does make sense. Thanks for your call. Just quickly, you made a good point there about it's happening everywhere, including music. I don't know if I told you this. I was with Rob once, right, and he played me a song, one of his songs. He said, it's not out, I will listen to this, play it to me. And I went, yeah, great, right? And he went, I didn't sing that. And I was like, what? And he went, and I didn't write it. And AI, a friend of his had an AI company or whatever, AI, with all the information out of Robbie Williams and Robbie Williams' sound, it wrote a song that sounded like the type of song he would write, and it sung it.
Wow.
And when I'll play it to you in the break, I can't play it to her. When you play it, you'd bet your life on it being Robbie.
Wow.
It's incredible, frightening, isn't it?
Yeah, it's scary.
So now you could get to the point where even musicians don't even need to write or even sing their songs.
Yeah, and that's scary, what AI can do. And it's going to get more and more.
Yeah, it's bizarre, isn't it? Instead of come, we'll be looking ahead to tonight's action in the Club World Cup. You stand up for that?
No, I watched the first game, but I ain't watching the last one.
Right, time now for the last no Googling of the day. David Beckham, 18. James Ward-Prowse, 17. Sit first and second for the most free kicks scored in Premier League history. We want to know which three non-English players are third for tied place. Tied for third? Is that right? Tied for third place, yeah. Which three English players are tied for third place? All right? Mm-hmm. The answer to that and loads more coming up live and Darwin Talks after this.
2 more sleeps until the Bazballers step back into the breach for round 2 against India at the ever-exuberant Edgbaston. An unchanged bowling attack means Jofra Archer, though in the squad, will be on the bench. Clearly, Rob Keys listened to talkSPORT and followed the advice of his bestie, Steve Harmison.
I think England have pulled off a little flanker here because you can have a substitute. He can then now go into the game for Sussex against Warwickshire, and I would have him as a substitute and then bring him in for the Lord's Test match.
OK. Thomas Williams is out. Ben White is in for the Lions after the Welshman's first ever try for the touring side resulted in the end of his tour. Gordon Darcy says it was an agonising watch.
Every player, every sports person just went, that's it. It's done. You knew his tour was over.
On day 1 at Wimbledon, delight for British qualifier and Grand Slam debutant Joe Tarver. The 21-year-old world number 719 is into the second round with a straight sets win over Leandro Riedi. Can anyone stop Alcaraz and Sinner from staging another Grand Slam classic in the final?
Look, can you ever count out Djokovic? I'm not too sure. Every time I feel like, he's finished kind of thing, he always surprises us. So I think Sinner and Alcaraz are probably the favourites, but Draper and Djokovic would be just behind.
Don't miss Wimbledon Unfiltered with Nick Kyrgios tonight at 7 and every weekday onwards from 8 p.m. on your smart TV.
Listen, Driver talkSPORT, me, Andy Goldstein, him over there, Darren Bent. Before the break, ask a question. Bex, Ward-Prowse sit first and second, the most free kicks scored in Premier League history. Which 3 non-English players are tied for third?
Cristiano?
He's 1.
Sebastian Larsson?
What?
Larsson?
No.
You see, that's how I can replace you.
Seb Larsson.
Because clearly you don't understand how good he was at free kicks.
Well, I can see the answers and he's not in them, so that's why I question what you're talking about.
Rubbish. Well, who has it gone?
No idea.
So who's he play for?
Chelsea. And Arsenal.
Zola?
Yeah, that's Chelsea. Arsenal. You're an embarrassment.
Arsenal. Thierry, obviously.
For us at 7, Chris Latcham and Roy Jennings host the Transfer Insiders. But now, time to look ahead to the Club World Cup, all thanks to our friends at DAZN.
FIFA Club World Cup preview on talkSPORT, presented by DAZN. Watch every game of the FIFA Club World Cup live and for free on DAZN. Sign up now at DAZN.com.
Tonight's game, round of 16, or as I like to call it, the game before the quarters. Inter Milan take on Fluminense. That's at 8 p.m. That's what you're watching.
I will watch that.
Right. 2 a.m. you won't be watching Man City against Al Hilal.
No, that's
that'll be live on talkSPORT.
Well, if I wake up, then I might watch it.
If you wake up, I hope you don't. You want to sleep all the way through, right? How hot is it, by the way, at the moment?
Major.
Have you got aircon in your gaff?
No.
Oh.
Hot.
Why have you got aircon?
Because we live in England. I need it.
I know, but for the 6 weeks that we have, or 6 days, whatever it is.
No.
Surprised you haven't.
Most of the time I'm not here anyway, so it's...
What night? Where are you?
No, like in the summertime and that, when it's hot.
Oh. Yeah. So just because you're not here, the family have to suffer, right?
No, of course not.
Well, because you're here at work and they're at home.
Yeah.
So because you're not at the house, it's not worth buying.
That's what windows are for.
You're a disgrace, mate.
Hey, that's what windows are for.
Wait, ladies and gentlemen, that's Darren Bent.
No, that's what windows are for. Open the window, fresh breeze.
There's no breeze.
Flex Breeze.
Nothing.
Shark Ninja. What device that was?
What?
Flex Breeze is fan that I got.
What was that?
It's a fan that I got at home.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Why?
It's like a plane engine fan.
Is it loud?
Yeah, it's loud, but cold.
It won't be cold. Fans just move hot air about.
Nah, trust me, it's freezing.
No, trust me, they don't.
What? Have you stood in front of it? Do you know if
I
it's
don't
cold?
need to see it.
I'm telling you now, it's cold.
I'll tell you what fans do. They move. So where's it get the cold from?
It's got a thing in it, a mist thing in it.
Oh,
it's got a temperature gauge in it.
No, it hasn't. You're such a liar. So in your kid's life.
What? It's got a mist thing.
No, it hasn't.
That's what my kid's life has.
It's got a mist thing.
But I don't use that. I'm messing up my bedroom and that. Spray mist everywhere.
So
Wait, that's got it.
Spray mist in your bedroom. Not done that since you were a teenager. Right, teams already qualified for quarterfinals: Palmeiras and Chelsea, PSG and Bayern. We're getting down to like the last 8 of the Champions League now, aren't we?
We are. I mean, it's incredible to see what could happen. We obviously you could get if City. Listen, City are going to get past. Hello, Inter Milan, Fluminense. That'd be a good game. It's probably going to be Chelsea City, right? In one semi-final.
Yeah.
And one quarter-final. Sorry. What
are you doing?
I'm looking at the draw, right? And again, I was talking to you guys in the meeting, and we spoke about the FIFA obviously putting this competition on to go against UEFA.
Yeah.
And effectively, we still might end up with 4 European sides anyway.
Like a not as exciting competition.
Yeah.
So everyone wants to win the Champions League. Like,
exactly. It feels like, because you've got on the other side Barca and not Barca, sorry, Bayern and PSG. You've got Dortmund still there, Real Madrid, Juventus.
Yeah.
So the likelihood you are going to get 2 European sides coming from that side of the draw, and Chelsea and Man City on this side of the draw. It just feels like a longer version of the Champions League.
If you had to mark it out of 10 now, well, it's still a long way to go. What would you give it? Has it been a success?
As enjoyment for myself?
The whole tournament.
8.
Been a... What?
I've enjoyed it 8.
No, you haven't.
I've enjoyed
such a liar.
I've enjoyed
You've not enjoyed it 8.
Why you ask me the question and I answer
You've enjoyed it 8?
Yeah.
So it's going to go to 10?
No, it might always stay 8, but I've enjoyed it that much. I've watched that many games and I've enjoyed it.
All right. Text me tonight at 2 a.m.
No, I told you I'm not watching that.
No, but when you're up, text you, you'll be up. Your brain won't let you sleep. Man City, they've looked like they're getting back to their best during this tournament. Shouldn't have many issues getting through tonight, should they?
I mean, they shouldn't do, but I mean, it's stranger things have happened. But when I looked at what Manchester City did in their last game, and the way that they completely dismantled Juventus 5-2, and then the goal scorers 4 separate goal scorers and 1 own goal. Doku just looks super sharp. Haaland was going to get his goal. Foden got his goal as well. But they just look disruptive. And destructive, Man City.
It could be a great pre-season, couldn't it? For a club? I know it's at the end of the season, then they've got a gap.
Well, Pep said, I heard Pep talking about this, and he said that he doesn't view this as pre-season, as an extension of last season. He views this as game 1, like as in the start of this season. Yeah.
So literally no break for play.
No.
I did feel a little bit sorry for Messi. Inter Miami got smashed 4-0 against PSG.
Smash wasn't the word, man.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did. 4-0 at half time.
He still looks great when he gets on the ball.
Do you know what it is? Unfortunately, and even Busquets, by the way, he does something.
You talked about that on the group.
It's the only time I've seen him in his career give the ball away. But he tried like a drag back on the edge of his own box, and he got caught out.
Why would he do that?
These players are too sharp nowadays. But you're right, for Messi, when he's got the ball at his feet and he's going past people, little 1-2s, like he played this pass to Suarez.
The little first time, beautiful over the top.
He just dropped in the right area, and I thought Suarez would hit it. But
he tried to take it on the inside, didn't he? His first touch.
Yeah, which is unlike him, by the way, Suarez. But I just think for Messi, other than Busquets, I know Busquets getting older, Suarez, Jordi Alba, they've got a few. They're not in the same wavelength as him. So he's doing. He's doing
playing balls that,
and he's like nothing's happening. Like Suarez, 5-10 years ago when he had that burst of acceleration, not a problem then. But you talk about Suarez I think he's got bad knees, and Busquets getting older.
You see when Messi had a free kick. Did you see it when Messi had a free kick?
Yeah.
And they were just literally building up like it's going to be goal of the season, didn't they?
Yeah, and nothing. And
he hit it well. We just hit the wall. But
yeah. Think about what we just said there.
He hit it well. Like it was a clean strike.
And it went where?
Hit the wall. No, but you know what I mean?
No, I don't.
Because I think it hit the furthest person to the right of the wall. Like if that would have missed him, it would have flown in.
Yeah. But no, I think we'll see him again at a major tournament for sure.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. But him and Ronaldo.
That's going to be.
But
28.
Yeah,
2028.
Him and Ronaldo just do what they want, don't they? In terms of major tournaments.
Yeah. Oh, World Cup 26, sorry. Oh, yeah. So next year.
Yeah.
Hold on. Of course it's next year.
He won the last one, didn't
he? Yeah. He's got to go back and defend it. Yeah, right. That was a look ahead to the Club World Cup with DAZN. Watch every game of the FIFA Club World Cup live and for free on DAZN. Sign up at DAZN.com.
FIFA Club World Cup preview on talkSPORT, presented by DAZN. Sign up now at DAZN.com to watch every game live and for free.
Time now for this.
Oi, what you got in your boot, mate? £50 million? You having a bubble?
Matthias Cunha scores from a corner.
Have that one for free, mate. Been trying to flog it for years.
And Bruno Fernandes has popped home the free kick.
Anyone for a new centre forward?
Low ball in towards Delap. He's tucked it in.
Drives car boot sale is now open. You mugs.
Just have a look. There's no Zubamendi. No,
he's already there.
No Zubamendi had a cup of tea this afternoon.
No, he's there at the training ground.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay, it's funny you know that and no one else does.
Well, they do.
Right, it's our daily transfer window feature, Drives Car Boot Sale, where each day we'll be exploring who's picking up a bargain and who's getting mugged off. Arsenal. Right, let's see who's first out of the boot today.
Eze rolling across the area and makes it 4 with a delightfully cool finish.
I saw it on Sky. You're laughing at Arsenal, but about Mbeumo said he's happy to stay at Brentford. It does happen, yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I saw it.
Well, he won't be staying. You know what he's done, eh?
Goes to go Spurs.
I bet he signs before Zubamendi.
I bet he wants to go Spurs.
Of course, he's already said he doesn't want to go Spurs.
No, he hasn't said that.
He has said that.
Show me.
Mate, it was in yesterday's newspaper.
Oh, of course it was.
Oh, I'll show you.
Thank you.
When I do that, will you apologise?
No.
There you go, there's the rule down, man. Arsenal apparently made contact with Eberechi Eze's representatives over the weekend, joined the race to sign him from Palace this summer. Spurs also interested. He's got a release clause of 68 million. Oh,
but this is a surprise. If he's only 68 million, because
only,
it's a bargain for him, right? Look, think about his ability and his quality, right?
70 million.
Yeah, I think that's a bargain. Maybe not a bargain, but £68 million for a release clause is not much for a player of that quality. He's an international. You saw that. Look what he did in the FA Cup.
You need a forward.
I get that, but if you can add Eze as well to the squad.
To the squad?
Yeah, he'll start left.
Right, okay, finally you admit that.
Yeah,
okay.
He'll start left. But what I like, he can play a 10. So then you can. If Odegaard's
you need a 9.
I get it, but that's getting worked on. But if this can come through the door now.
Who's coming?
Šeško or Gyökeres, one of them.
Yeah,
maybe both.
Yeah, of course.
But no, I'd love to see Eze come to Arsenal. Wow, what a signing that would be. Real statement as well.
Palace, they're waiting to see whether they're going to play European football next season, Europa League. Do you think his decision will come down to whether or not they're in it?
No, it shouldn't do, because he's going to Arsenal, a bigger club, a side that's in the Champions League. So, listen, I hope Palace are in the Europa. They've earned the fantastic display in the FA Cup final. Yeah. But I think if you're Eze and Arsenal come knocking, you have to go.
Okay. Right, let's see who's next out the car boot.
Extraordinary. Emi Martinez, terrific save onto the upright.
Chelsea reportedly been offered the chance to sign him. Emi Martinez. It will cost around £45 million. Apparently prefers to move to Man United. Didn't know Chelsea were in this race, did you?
I'll tell you what, if you can get him, go all out. I know he's only 32 years old as well.
Listen, I think he's a brilliant player.
He's better than anything they've got down there.
Yeah. There were question marks towards the end of last season. Made a few clangers, but I think he won the World Cup.
I mean, he's won the Yashin. Is it the Golden Glove Award for the last 2 years?
Times, yeah.
So, for whatever he's got at Chelsea, he's an upgrade.
But that doesn't fit into their policy of signing people below 30, does it?
Well, no, but...
no, but that's their policy.
No, it doesn't. I mean, he's younger than 30 for Chelsea. He's a lot younger than... Their policy's young.
Okay. But he's 32.
But I do think when certain scenarios... I know you've got a policy at your football club, but there are the unexpected sometimes. And if something like this comes up and he's there and he's saying, listen, Chelsea, I'd like to come. You've got to take it.
You and I got a bet. Top 8 I've got for Man United to finish.
Top 7.
No. It's top 8.
No, it's top 7.
It's top Betty.
Right,
it's top 8,
yep.
Right? And it's for a £500 pair of trainers.
Mm-hmm.
If he comes, how much of a blow would that be for you?
To Man United? No, because there's another 10 players. So I'll be fine.
What about Cunha?
Okay, so there's 9 left.
Okay, what about Bruno?
Okay, 8 left. You're gonna win. You're gonna finish top.
Hold on.
You're gonna finish top 8 with them with what 8 players left?
Hold on. What about Mbeumo signs?
Well, he hasn't yet, so no.
What he does?
No, not done that yet.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, no, it's just those 3.
Yeah.
Right, let's move on to the last one, shall we?
Headed in, saved by Trafford, sent back in by Slimani. Trafford again has to punch, not once, but twice.
Yeah, we do like him. Newcastle are in talks with Burnley over a deal for England goalkeeper James Trafford. 29 clean sheets in the Championship last season, conceding just 16 goals as Burnley won automatic promotion to the Premier League. When you look at Burnley last season, that was the most impressive thing about them. Not just he didn't concede goals, but they didn't as a unit. I mean, every week it was either 1-0 or 2-0. They hardly conceded goals.
29 clean sheets, yeah.
How much of his form was down to that, and how much was down to Scotty Parker and the way he set that team up.
Yeah, I mean, Scott Parker deserves a lot of credit, but I think James Trafford was outstanding. There was a game towards the end of the season, I can't remember who it was against. I want to say Sheffield Wednesday, but I might be wrong, where he saved 2 penalties. Like, he was incredible, like James Trafford. So last time I didn't think he was ready for the Premier League, which is why Muric took his spot. I think this time around he is ready for the Premier League. So I think it'll be a good competition between him and Nick Pope. He's got better feet, but Nick Pope is an incredible shot stopper. So
he is really, isn't he?
Yeah, he's about 6'7".
Yeah.
So he should be. But yeah, I mean, that'd be a really fascinating battle if those two, if he rocks up at Newcastle.
Who's the tallest goalkeeper you've ever faced?
Yeah.
Was there any that was just ridiculous?
I mean, like Van der Sar's huge.
Van der Sar is massive.
Yeah,
isn't
Czech's huge.
Yeah,
big guys.
I didn't realise how big Van der Sar was. Do you know what? It's almost freak.
Massive,
isn't it?
Huge.
How tall is Van der Sar? 6'5"?
Must be 6'4", 6'5". Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like the difference between 6 foot and 6'5". I know this is going to sound silly. It's 5, but it feels bigger than that.
Yeah, when you look at him, you go, oh my.
Because you don't see people that are 6'5" that often.
No.
Who's the tallest player you've ever faced? Faced Crouch? You play with Crouch?
Yeah, I played against Crouch. Yeah,
What's
massive,
that like?
huge.
Yeah,
absolutely, man. I'm trying to think biggest one.
It don't come much bigger. Well,
no, but I'm sure I would have played against some that are just more filled out than him.
Yeah. Okay.
Akin Fenwell was big.
Yeah, proper lump. That was today's Drives Caboosel. When we come back, One More Billy will be in the studio with all his mates for the end of show quiz. talkSPORT. It's me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent here. Motorpoint new car with same-day drive away available on all cars. Book a test drive today. Follow us at 7. Chris Natcham and Rory Jennings host the Transfer Insiders. One more Billy in the studio for the initial quiz in a sec. First, of course, Wimbledon is happening. Lisa O'Sullivan can confirm that I am no liar. Lisa?
I confirm that it is Wimbledon. Sonny Cartel, Cameron Norrie, Arthur Ferry and Billy Harris are into round 2, along with Oliver Tarvad, who will play at Carlos Alcaraz next. The British qualifier played his first tour-level match today and will now take on the two-time defending champion, almost foiled by Fabio Fognini. Took 5 sets, and that was the final match at Wimbledon for the 38-year-old Italian. Emma Raducanu is poised on the brink of victory. She is 6-3, 5-3 up against compatriot Mimi Zhu. And on centre court, Katie Bolter leads Paula Badosa of Spain 2-1 in the first set.
Was. Thanks, Lisa. Right, the reunion of the century is just around the corner. This week it starts. We are giving you the chance to win a pair of Oasis tickets for Manchester, July the 19th. Yes, you heard that right. Oasis Live 25 is sold out. But talkSPORT can get you in, and that's not all. Alongside the tickets, we'll put you up for a night in a hotel and put $5,000 in your back pocket, completely tax-free. Listen up right now for everything you need to know and how to enter.
On iArcade, you have to be over 18 to enter in the UK, excluding Northern Ireland, for the chance to win a pair of tickets to the most electrifying rock and roll reunion of the century, a hotel stay and $5,000 spending money. Text the word Oasis to 83338 by Monday the 7th of July at 11 p.m. and you'll be entered into the draw to go supersonic this summer. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission or post your name and number to Oasis Prize Draw, PO Box 3190, Colchester, CO2 AGP, to arrive by 5 p.m. on the 10th of July. This is a talkSPORT limited promotion run on talkSPORT, Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full T's and C's at talksport.com. Good luck, yeah? Sorted.
Yes, good luck indeed. One more bullet in the studio. You right, One Word?
Hello.
How was your weekend?
Yeah, really good. Yours?
No one cares, but I've told you.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, time for the early show quiz. Now, I think I'm right in saying last Friday we stumbled upon the fact that Darren Bent, just from hearing a goal that he scored, can tell us what game it was and what the goal was like, and even what colour kit he was wearing.
Mm-hmm.
So we've continued that theme.
Why is it all about me? It's about us.
No, I like the fact that you can do this. I think it's quite freakish.
You should do yours about Man United goals.
No, I didn't score them, didn't I, plonker?
No, you support them, didn't you?
Yes.
Allegedly.
Oh, at least I'm not an Arsenal fan that played for Spurs, factually.
You work for Liverpool.
No, I did not work for Liverpool. That definitely did not happen.
Yeah, we're doing that.
Yeah, I just said, yeah. How many you got, Bill?
4 or 5.
Go on, should we start with the first one?
Yeah.
Good set by Hotshot! Unbelievable! Darren Bent has put Villa in front.
You missed the start of that.
Yeah, I did.
Do you want it again?
Yeah.
Do it again.
Good set by Hotshot! Unbelievable! Darren Bent has put Villa in front.
Do you want to help the opponents? Maybe
Oh, he doesn't know.
Right, is the opponent City?
Yeah.
Is it who?
Man City.
Yeah.
Yeah, my debut, Villa. It wasn't the whole end, it was the other end, I can't remember. But Ashley Young takes a shot. Joe Hart probably should do a little bit better with it. And then I follow it up and slide underneath him. And wearing short sleeves, night kit, because that Villa kit was beautiful.
Yeah, home kit, short sleeves. Correct. Spot on.
Weird man. Next one.
Here we go.
And Bent shoots and scores! Southampton despair. Let's credit Bent because he blasts through and then it's just about his power.
Southampton. Southampton. That's the only one I can remember at Southampton was Stephen Lyland took a shot and it bobbled into the ground and I kind of reacted and just stuck my leg out. And
Is that it?
At the St Mary's, yeah.
That is it.
And we was wearing the most ugly kit, that greeny, horrible Villa kit.
Yeah,
Macron.
luminous.
That was it?
Luminous yellow.
Okay.
Benny, for a goal you didn't think you remember, you were spot on.
2 out of 2. See the next one.
And Bent will chase this. Caldwell is back. It's Bent and it's 3. What a super finish from Darren Bent.
Got caught up to England squad after that.
What?
Got up to England squad after that.
Did you?
Charlton. 3. I think he finished 3-1. That was the last goal in injury time, I think it was.
Yeah.
Brian Hughes just kicked it long.
See if you can get 4 out of 4. Next one.
I think so.
Bent goes for goal. Stunning effort. What a way for Bent to bring up double figures for the season. And look at that for technique outside of the boots.
Last one that's left.
Now that I think you might have made up because I don't remember.
You made up
outside of the boot. Stunning strike. I don't remember that.
No, you don't. Sunderland Bolton. Remember that?
Sunderland Bolton. How was Sunderland Bolton?
That was Marcus Bent. Right.
Did I get it right?
That's Marcus Bent.
Yeah, I thought, yeah. Davey, when is it? And I can remember that goal, Marcus.
You know on Friday, right? We did this. I said to Billy, "Do you put any Marcus Bent goals?" And he went, "Enough of that." I didn't do it.
Also, the second one against Southampton, you said you remembered.
Yeah, that wasn't yours.
That was Marcus Bent as well.
Was it?
Yeah.
I know I scored one against.
Yeah, but that wasn't yours. Oh, claim it as mine. Wasn't yours. Disgraceful.
Bill, well played, mate. I knew you were Braz.
We'll be back tomorrow, 4 o'clock for more the same. Thanks for listening. Be safe, everyone. Be safe.
Bye, everyone.
And you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone. Oh, the times they are a-changin'.